Looks like the chat is open. Howdy, chat. Can you guys hear me okay? Um, hey, Dresden. Hey, LP Club. Waferton. Nolan Morse. That dead kid. How's it going, guys? You can hear me okay. Let me know. Looks like we're going in through... Like, I've got a whole new audio setup that I'm just learning how to figure out. As you can tell, I finally nutted up and bought a condenser mic, an actual proper mic, and an actual proper mixing sort of format. So, yeah, I'm a big boy now with big boy tools and everything. Oh, guys. Hey, how's it going? So, man. Oh, wait. Okay, some people can hear me, some can't. Oh. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, it looks like some of you can hear me, some of you can't. Yeah. Fuck it, we'll do it live now. A little quiet? Okay, let me see if I can fix that. Okay, let me know if that's a little bit better. Say, hopefully we're not coming in too loud now. Okay, looks like some of you, looks like a lot of you can hear me. Okay, all right, it looks good. Okay, it's coming through one ear. That is really strange. Ugh. God, for some reason I must have it in my... Okay, too loud, way too loud. Okay, sorry guys, we're like I said, we're running by the seat of our pants here. I've gone to 11. That's a nice one. Because when we're live streaming and we need that little push over the top, we make it 11. Yeah, okay, for some reason I'm coming in mono. It must be I'm using my Focusrite solo to actually stream things. And you know, last time I checked, when I record music through it, I record in mono. You know, because in recording, I'm learning, the trick is to record a lot of your instrumental tracks in mono, so that might be part of the reason we're having issues. But as long as you guys can hear me okay, as long as we're okay, I think we're good to keep trucking along. So, yeah, guys, like, legit. Like, we hit 1 million views, so yeah, I'm partying up in here. This is a celebration for me. I've got, that's the thing. I've got my Sauvignon Blanc over here, this is Starborough. It's okay, just something I picked up at the grocery store, nothing too fancy. Got gummy bears, and of course, little Jack Daniels if we're feeling super haughty. But... Crash can't stop partying. Oh, Ness, I should have used the pimp cup. Well, the problem with the pimp cup is that it's actually spray painted over. That's why it looks gold. It's actually gold spray paint. And that would so not be safe to drink out of. Like, look, I love you guys, but I'm not gonna give myself fucking poisoning over it, you know? Oh, man. Okay. Oh. Alrighty, but yeah, guys, review Trump's presidency. Oh, God. We just hit 9,000 subs. I mean, let's lose a couple more while we're at it now. Yeah, I don't know. Like, let's... Oh, drink it anyway. Poison yourself, Dresden. Oh, Dresden, you are a sunshine rainbow wrapped in unicorn farts. Okay, Okay, guys, like, before we get full-blown, rip-rolling into, like, the question-y sort of thing, I actually just, wanted to let you guys know a few things, about the stream. I was hoping we could get this done, and I literally barely crossed that finish line. The new Ketchup Quickie, the Patreon Ketchup Quickie, with a lot of, some of your requests on there, it's, not only is it finished, I'm gonna try to debut it at the end of the stream. I have it set up, I have it ready to roll, I've tested it, and it looks like it's gonna play just fine. But yeah, the new Ketchup Quickie, yeah, if you guys are up for it, at the end of the stream, we will go ahead and premiere it. So, yeah, that's well, like I say, we can try. It was running a little laggy the last time I tried. Oh, I'm out of sync now. Because of course. Uh, but anyway, yeah, we're gonna try. If it's laggy or if it doesn't look good, that's also not a huge problem. Because actually, yeah, Akraloth, your request is on here. Actually, yeah, your request, Aki, is one of the first ones we do. So yeah, that's that and oh, I'm sorry, I'm lost my train of thought. But yeah, we're gonna try to debut it, but if it doesn't play right or if it's too choppy or whatever, it's already uploaded to the channel. It's just unlisted for right now. But it's already uploaded. If we can't get it working that way, no big deal. After the stream, I'll just switch that upload over to public, and you guys can just watch it that way. The good old traditional, good old channel revenue way, where I'm not in the straight. You get what I'm talking about. What's up, Diego Cardum? What's up to all the new subscribers too, by the way? Like I saw a few of you say, "Hey, new sub," or "Hey, first time, nice to see." Hey, welcome to the show. Like I say, I'm glad you stumbled across us, and I'm glad you like this goofy little thing that we do over here. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I didn't even plan this, but yeah. And of course, welcome to all you old subs too. Of course, you old subs. Hell yeah. Oh, you guys, like, hell, you're the reason this channel keeps going. Like, God, seriously, like, thank you all so much. Like I said, a million streams. Ugh, God, that sounds daunting. A million views, is kind of a, like, sort of landmark sort of thing for me personally. And I can explain why. Like I've mentioned in the past, Rock Critic is not my first attempt at a YouTube show. Actually, way back in the day, I did a show called 10 Seconds, which you guys have seen. I uploaded that as another special. I believe that was a Facebook follower special. That only had 2 episodes. I did it while I was in college. Like, I didn't even have a computer back then, so I mean, that show never really had a prayer. But yeah, there was 10 Seconds was my first show. Rock Critic is actually my third show. The second show I did was something called Couch News. Now, don't bother looking for it. Don't bother trying to see it. It's not on YouTube. It's not anywhere out there. I only uploaded it to YouTube, and I uploaded it to YouTube, Funny or Die, back when that was a thing. Remember that? And, what was the other? Oh, Blip. Yeah, I uploaded it to Blip way back in the day, and God, we all know how that turned out. Oh, poor Blip. Oh, man. But yeah, Couch News. It was a really shitty show, truth be told. It was really pretty bad. It was just me. It was basically this setup right here. I sat on a couch, I shot it in my laptop's shitty built-in camera. And basically, it was just me trying to do a shitty Jon Stewart impression. Like, I would just take recent, I would just take recent stories, just whatever was, a hot button moment at the time. Hey, Awkward Monkey Games, how's it going? Jacob Sanchez, how's it going? Yeah, everybody's rest in peace, Blip. God, you know what? Pour one out for Blip, man. Oh. Blip was a lovely little sight once upon a time. Ugh. The Rock Critic actually started on Blip too, actually. That was originally where I remember I uploaded the first quickies up there, and the first, Saint Anger and the Rise and Fall of Weezer's on Blip originally. I transferred everything over to YouTube because no one was watching me on Blip, but, yeah, I guess, but yeah, anyway, Couch News, it was bad. Like, it was just really crappy, and I was still learning my kicks. If you guys think, early Rock Critic was shaky, holy fuck. Yeah, this was twice as shaky as early Rock Critic as far as production value, special effects, audio quality, video quality, all the basic shit. I had no fucking idea what I was doing. But anyway, Sorry, kind of on a tangent here. Um, so the reason why a million views is like kind of a big deal to me is because back in the Couch News days, um, I think it was on a forum somewhere, or maybe it was like Yahoo Ask or something like that, but I was just curious to see if, someone would actually, hey, Julio Magai, how's it going? But yeah, I was, trying to, like, I was just trying to see if there was interest, to see what I could do to, kick up a little interest for the show and whatnot, and I asked around on some forum, or it was, one of those things. It may have been the Escapist forums, actually, now that I think about it. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter, but, I asked some, I threw up the question, hey, here's a link to my video, check it out, what can I do to get myself to 1 million views? I know I'm probably, asking for way too much, I'm probably, I'm probably just, too starry-eyed, and I'm nowhere near good enough for 1 million views, but hey, if you got any tips to get me to 1 million views, I'd be happy to take them. So, just a casual throw out, hey, here's my shit, what do you think, Hey, Slayer did it better. You don't have to call me daddy, I'm not your daddy, Zayon. I promise I'm not your daddy. And the thing is, I remember this was way, way back in the day. Like I said, this was pre-Rock Critic, just after 10 seconds, and, the thing is, the only responses I got to that were, basically, one guy told, I got 2 responses. One guy told me to straight up kill myself, because of course, and the other guy said, no, you are so untalented, you're so physically unattractive, basically just, I don't know, just basically every negative thing you could think to say about me, yeah, he pretty much said it. Oh, is ARTV in the stream? Oh, hey John, how's it going, man? But yeah, basically just every possible thing you could possibly think to say about me, Chris Farley looking motherfucker, all that, just say, no, you'll never hit 10,000 views, let alone 1 million. So that is why, I wanted to, like I said, if Rock Critic ever hits that if we ever hit that landmark, then you know what? We're gonna fucking celebrate it, and we're gonna call it out, because you know what? Homeboy, if you're out there, if you have any idea about that show back then, granted, it wasn't a good show, it didn't deserve 1 million views, I got better as we went along, but homie, if you were out there right now, and, if you're the guy that told me you will never reach 1 million views, this stream is dedicated to you. Cheers. Oh, fuck off. I can be petty. Okay, forgive me. I just wanted to kind of mention that, 1 million views isn't a big deal to a lot of other people, but to me, it's like, that was like a big demon I've been meaning to slay ever since the beginning, close to the beginning of my YouTube career, ever since Rock Critic was a thing, certainly, and god damn it, we finally slayed it. We finally climbed that goddamn mountain, and we punched it out, holy fuck. Yeah, it feels good. And you know what? You guys helped make that happen. All of you helped make that happen. And, thank you so much. Seriously. You guys are so cool about all of this. But, okay. Sorry, forgive me. Let me get into the chat here and see what... Okay, this is a Q&A stream, so I do want to answer your questions. I don't want to just sit here and jack off and drink wine. Although there is a market for that kind of video. But let's see what you guys are asking. Let's see. Wait, what just called me senpai? Senpai has noticed you. Please don't call me senpai. Okay, Slayer did it better. Germs or dead Kennedys? Why not both? Germs... You know what, Germs, God, of course I love the Germs. Nope, other side. Of course I love the goddamn Germs. You better believe I love the Germs. But the Germs were one of those stars that burned ridiculously bright, but just couldn't last long, you know? I mean, frankly, you know, given Darby's, you know, lifestyle and just the way that dude lived, I'm amazed we got them for as long as we did. But the Germs are great, but Dead Kennedys, you gotta give it up for just as their staying power, the number of songs they were able to give us. Like, they've got, I would say Dead Kennedys is probably the more legendary band. I say Dead Kennedys is maybe the better band, per se, but I've got a special place in my heart for the Germs. I love the goddamn Germs. I'll always love it. I want to talk more about the Germs someday. It's just a matter of, you know, getting... I do plan on doing an I Love This Song episode on Lexicon Devil, you know, kind of go into the reasons why I picked it as my theme song and whatnot, but yeah, the Germs are great, Germs are fantastic, but I think as far as, I mean, if we're just putting them up in raw competition, yeah, Dead Kennedys has to take that title, just, you know. Okay, what else we got here? Oh, Grillmore, that's a good question. Thoughts on Amarth? I really like them. I got a chance to check out their last album last year. Their last album came this close to making my honorable mentions in Best of 2016. Like, their last album was pretty good, and everything else I've tried to dig up here and there is really, really great. Amarth, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that, by the way. I have a tendency to do that. But yeah, Amarth is really, really great. I do like what they're doing. If they put out another album in the near future, I'll be sure to give that some time, either in a quickie or a catch up. But oh, hell yeah, love Amarth. Really, really excited to get the chance to talk about them. Like I said, last year was Amaranth or Amaranth. Okay, yeah. Like I said, guys, I'm sorry, I mispronounce shit all the time. I try my bloody best not to, I swear, but I'm just a dumb. I'm a dumb, and I've already had one of these so far, so settle in. Okay. What else have we got here? Do you plan on doing a video? Don's Bombs. Do you plan on doing a video about My Chemical Romance? I plan on doing several videos about My Chemical Romance someday in the future. Someday. Can't go into too much detail about that right now, but you know, that is something that's gonna happen. Totally. Just, you know, sit tight on me for that. I'll put it this way, Green Day first, then we'll climb that mountain. Oh. Ooh, Dante Natasi? Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that. Dante Natasi, favorite Nirvana album. I hate to be Mr. Bland and boring, but for me, that's Nevermind. I mean, I know that's the boring, uninteresting answer, and, you know, Bleach has so much great stuff on it, and, you know, In Utero is so fucking wonderful. By the way, I know I mispronounced In Utero on the last video where I mentioned it. I know. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I'm kind of dumb. Have you ever noticed that? I'm not particularly good at this job. See, like I say, I'm amazed I have 1 million views and 9,000 subs. Y'all put up with a lot from me for all those stupid mistakes I make from time to time. But yeah, In Utero is, again, I like pretty much all of Nirvana's catalog is great for different reasons. But Nirvana is just Nevermind is just perfect in so many ways. Perfect mix, perfect instrumentation, perfect performances, perfect songwriting. It's just this perfect fucking storm of an album, and it was exactly what the early 90s needed. Like, holy shit, like, I do plan on talking about the early 90s at some points. Like, I'm thinking about doing a worst songs of, like, 1990, 1991, or not worst songs of pre-grunge 90s list sometime. But yeah, early 90s were a fucking wasteland for pretty much all music. Pop was terrible, rock was terrible, hip-hop was starting to blossom, but it wasn't where it needed to be yet. Like, yeah, like, man, the early 90s, like pre-91, like right between 90 and early 91, holy fuck. But yeah, Nevermind was just the album that early 90s needed. That was the album that made the 90s happen. That was the album that basically made modern rock occur. That was what changed everything into what it needed to be. And you know, Nevermind has a big place in my childhood. Like I've mentioned, Nevermind was probably one of, if not the very first album I ever heard, you know? At least, like, a full album and not just, like, a music video. My brother had Nevermind growing up, and I would sneak into his room all the time and steal it, and, you know, like I've said, I'd put it in the CD player, hide out in the closet, and just, you know, bang out to the headphones. And, yeah, Nirvana, like, on top, or Nevermind, excuse me. God, those, but, yeah, Nevermind. Like, not only does it have all of those historical factors, but it's also, for me, got that personal, that kind of little kid memories that you always cherish and always hold on to dear for the rest of your life. Like, yeah, the soundtrack to that particular thing for me is Nirvana's Nevermind. It's stuff like Smells Like Teen Spirit and Drain You and fucking... Endless Nameless. I even love Endless Nameless. That's how much I love that album. Like, holy shit. In Bloom, oh my god. Come As You Are, fucking, oh. Like, and again, like I say, Bleach has lots of cool stuff on it. It's raw and gritty and just a fucking, you know, it's a nails out kind of grunge album. It's so cool. It's, like, Bleach is probably one of the best pre-formal grunge albums that was ever, like, really made. You know, back before we had a full-blown name for grunge, like, Bleach is probably one of the best examples of that kind of rock before it went mainstream and before everyone listened to it. And, of course, In Utero is such a ballsy, fucking wonderful experiment. It's such a brilliant fuck you, too. It's just... Cobain is just so pissed at everything and everyone, and, you know, it was that kind of early 90s cynicism just cranked up in the overdrive, and even cynicism about the cynicism. I mean, Francis Farmer will have her revenge on Seattle. That says it all right there. Fucking, oh, it's so fucking wonderful. But, you know, like I say, Nevermind has the edge, because Nevermind is not only a part of our collective history, it's a big part of my history, too. So, yeah. Love Nevermind. Absolutely. And, of course, the chat is all, no, it isn't. In Utero's better, or no, Bleach is better. Yeah, you guys can have that fight all you want. You have my stance, you know. I'm team Nevermind. Well, like I said, every album, pretty much all of their catalog is good for different reasons. Daft Doggo, favorite Rush album. Oh, that's a hard one. Like, ooh. I don't know if I could pick just one, you know? I'd say my top three. My top three, the ones that I always go to are... No, I'm going to have to do four. I'm sorry. My top four that I always go to are Fly By Night, 2112... Permanent Waves, and of course Moving Pictures. Like, just the best of the full-blown prog era and the best of the full-blown sort of rock era, you know? Like, oof. Like, you can't go wrong with that. You cannot go wrong with that. I would recommend anyone who hasn't heard those four albums, go out and get them. Just wonderful. Alex Kahn, thoughts on Swimmers? Oh, and before Akraloth, yeah, Clockwork Angels was good too. Like, that one turned out, I was surprised with how that turned out, you know? I guess not full-blown surprised. Like Rush is one of those bands that can kind of do no wrong in my book, but, you know, Clockwork Angels was the first time they did a full concept, and, you know, they pulled it off pretty well. I was very, very happy with what we got out of that. So not my favorite by any means, but, you know, very solid, very everything I would expect out of a Rush album, and, you know, great. Forgive me, I was about to answer Alex Kahn, I'm sorry. But yeah, Swimmers. Forgive me, everyone has been telling me to talk about Swimmers. They're one of those bands I get requests for all the time. I haven't gotten around to it. I'm fucking sorry. I know I fucking should. I've listened to a few songs here and there, just in my random wanderings about, but, yeah, you know, it's, I don't know, it hasn't grabbed me yet. It hasn't, like, full-blown grabbed me by the haunches and said, oh my god, this is amazing yet. But, you know, it's okay for what it is so far. Next time they release an album, I'll definitely be giving it a try. But I don't know. I'm not like 100% sold yet, but I'm certainly not dissuaded. They're not bad. I don't dislike what I hear, but I'm not full blown sold. Chris Carter, this is a good one. What about the new Mastodon? That's coming up in the next Catch-Up Quickie. Not this one that's going to premiere today, but the next, like, formal Catch-Up Quickie. This Catch-Up Quickie is made of, the one that's premiering tonight is all Patreon requests. But the next one is going to be everything I want to watch, everything that I wanted to do. So, and yes, Mastodon is on that. You'll hear my thoughts on the new Mastodon. Not to be terribly spoilery, but yeah, it's pretty good. Like, oh, that new Mastodon is pretty good. Like, I mean, did you? I would think you wouldn't expect too much of a difference, sort of thing there. I'm not going to stray too far from the general herd on Mastodon. I mean, I would if I had heard things I didn't like, of course. But man, Mastodon is just killing it. Especially so late in their career. It's fucking magical how fucking stupendous these guys are. They just knock it out of the park every single fucking time, man. Like, I know some people didn't care for their most recent albums just because they lent just a teensy bit more mainstream than, stuff, well, way more mainstream than stuff like Crack the Sky and Blood Mountain were, but like, I still think, I actually really like those albums. I like The Hunter, and I like Once More Around the Sun. I really liked Once More Around the Sun. Hell, that made my best of the year for whatever year that came out. I want to say 2014? Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, no, Mastodon. Can't go too wrong with Mastodon. Like I've said before, my only thing about Mastodon is, don't do like I did and start with Crack the Sky. Start with something like, Leviathan, or even like their later stuff, like, Once More Around the Sun, or, The Hunter. Those are, like I say, they have a bit more of a mainstream sort of bent, so they're a bit more easy, a bit more user-friendly. But yeah, Mastodon, you can't go too wrong. Cannot not go too wrong. Oh man. Fel Alvarado, what's your favorite band? Ooh, well, that is always a hard question because it depends on what day you catch me. But the thing is, like any band, like if you just held a gun to my face and just said, name your favorite band in 2 seconds or I shoot you, the first thing that's going to come to mind is Rush. Just always Rush. Rush. Rush with a capital Rush. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've done like a top 10 favorite bands video, and yeah, Rush is on the top of that list, and I can't think of another band that could possibly kick them over the edge. But, yeah, Rush, I don't know, unless, I don't know, unless that next, fucking Asking Alexandria is the shit. I don't know, guys, what do you think? Oh, no, but Rush. Rush is, like, my top 3 favorites that I always go to are Rush, Bad Religion, and The Tragically Hip. Like, you cannot go too wrong with all of those, but Rush usually tends to win that argument in my book by a steady margin. Ah. Okay, Doyle Alexander, forgive me, I've seen you pop this up. Alkaline Trio. Love them. Love them. Like, I love Alkaline Trio so much, I even love, like, a lot of the later stuff that people bitch about. Like, one of my favorite Alkaline Trio albums is Agony and Irony, if that tells you anything about me. But yeah, no, Alkaline Trio is just so good. I love Matt Skiba's vocals. I love Dan Adario's fucking bass work. He's fucking stellar. And like, God, it's such great spooky punk, It's such great gothics. It's gothic, but it's also skate park punk, It's high energy, but it's also really just, it's high energy, but it's wearing too much mascara. I love them. And like I say, when Skiba started singing for Blink-182, yeah, you better believe I was fucking psyched about that. And I still fucking love California. I still love that album. Hell, I love it even more now that the extended edition, the stuff that they've released, like, even that is, like, the stuff that's on this deluxe edition that they recently put out, that stuff is even better than the stuff on California proper. It makes me wonder why the hell they left it off, that album, But, yeah, holy shit. Alkaline Trio is one of my favorite sort of modernish sort of pop. Well, I wouldn't say pop punkness. Well, I guess they're kind of pop punk, but yeah, pop punk, or whatever. I love Alkaline Trio. Whatever fucking label you want to give them, I love Alkaline Trio. A million people have been asking me about Gorillaz. I'll let you guys in on something. Gorillaz was Patreon requested. The thing is, the new Gorillaz album doesn't come out until the 28th. So, like, here's my general goal. I want to have the next catch-up quickie, the one after this one that's premiering tonight. I want to finish that up by the 28th, or at least before the 28th sometime, so I can do Gorillaz on its own, as an individual, just separate, on its own quickie. Because, like I said, that's been Patreon requested, so that's guaranteed a review. So you guys will see me talk about the new Gorillaz at some point. But yeah, my quick thoughts on Gorillaz, yeah, I love them. I absolutely adore them. One of my pins on the back, I would turn around and show you, but my kind of setup here is a little cramped and a little fragile, so I don't want to take the risk of knocking my camera over and fucking, excuse me, and fucking things up. But yeah, one of my pins on my jacket on the back is actually a Gorillaz pin. I really, really do like Gorillaz. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new album. I like the singles that they put out so far. I haven't heard them all, truth be told. There's some stuff... there's some stuff I kind of want to put off until I hear the whole album. I'm that kind of guy that likes to take... I like to try to avoid singles, just because I want to take in an album as a whole experience, usually. So I usually try to avoid singles, but what I have heard from Gorillaz has been pretty positive so far. I wasn't a huge fan of the first single, necessarily, but it grew on me over time. And the other stuff I've heard is pretty good, so yeah, I honestly can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to doing that. I've heard a lot of people say Jeff Rosenstock, too. Thoughts on Jeff Rosenstock? Lots of people. Evan Frawley, Scott Barber, lots of Jeff Rosenstock. I liked the last album that he put out. Worry? It was Worry, wasn't it? Yeah. I liked Worry. I didn't think it was... like I said, it didn't make my best of 2016 list. Like, again, mostly because... Fuck, I had so much stuff I needed to sift through for that list. Like, ugh. Like, God, truth be told, I probably should have made that list even bigger. 2016 was a weirdly good year for rock music. It wasn't a good year for fucking anything else. But for rock music, hell yeah, we had a great fucking time. So many good releases. I remember liking Jeff Rosenstock, but not in a huge way. Like, I thought about doing a quickie on it, but I just didn't quite get around to it. There was other stuff that came up. Just some other stuff that grabbed my attention, and, I'd say I would give that last Jeff Rosenstock, though. I'd probably give that, like, a 4 out of 5, or maybe even a 4.5. It was pretty solid. I really did enjoy it, but not in any massive way. I seem to be kind of in the minority. People are kind of losing their shit over Jeff Rosenstock at the moment, but... I'm kind of in the minority, and I'm not, I'm not ready to suck his dick just yet, necessarily, I don't know, maybe a few more glasses of this, that'll change. Oh, I am a hell of a cheap date. But I dig what he's doing. I'm just not head over heels for the guy. Hey, salute to you if you are. Like I say, he's definitely a great musician, definitely got some great stuff under his belt, but, I need something a little bit better. Pancake Dude. I've seen this come up a little bit. Do I like Korn? Here's the thing. I don't care for Korn, really. I'm not saying you shouldn't like Korn, and I'm not judging you if you do like Korn. I've just never really liked Korn, Like, even back in my nu metal days, Korn was just one of those bands I couldn't really get into. It's just, and like I said, like I've mentioned in the past, there was a reason I left them off of my top 10 nu metal list, because, I just don't care for Korn. I don't think they were that... Well, I won't deny their influence. I won't deny how important they were to the genre and the rock scene of their time. Certainly won't deny that. But from my pure personal me and the things that my brain likes and gives me positive responses to, Korn is so not on that list. I just like the drumming was always really good, but Jonathan Davis's vocals are kind of shitty, and like the bass has a really weird tone to it, and the guitar work is all distortion and like no real melody, or like actual, like it's got structure, but it's so sloppy. And again, I know like you Korn fans will jump in and say, "Oh, that's the whole point," or you guys will come jump in and say, "Oh yeah, but no, it's great. It's you just don't and what? Like I say, you're welcome to your opinions there, but man, Korn is just one of those bands. I've relentlessly tried to get in on the Korn bandwagon, but I'm just not there, guys. I don't like Korn. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking prejudiced against Korn. I don't know, but I just don't like their music. I've never liked their music. There was a reason I didn't review their new album yet. There was a reason I didn't review their last album, because I just don't care about Korn. And what would a review of me reviewing Korn be other than, I just don't like Korn and there's a lot of reasons for me not to like Korn, so here's this thing, okay, whatever. I did listen to the new Korn. I thought, okay, this is Korn. Thank God it's not dubstep Korn like that last album that came out a few years back, or or country Korn that's apparently coming up, or whatever. But yeah, I'm not into Korn. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to judge you if you're into Korn, but Korn is just really, really not my scene. It's just, I don't dig it. And there's not much you can say to me that's going to make me dig it, so. Jacob Sanchez, Y'all Want a Single. God, I hated that song. Oh, that song pissed me off, because that was a big song in high school back in the day, like, and the vocals on that song are so annoying. Y'all want a single, say suck that, suck that, suck that. Y'all want a single, say suck that, suck that, suck that. Okay, maybe some of you like that song, but that's what it sounded like to me. Just weird as fuck. Oh, okay. Here's a good one. Gabriel Poulter. Favorite movie? Interesting question. I have weird taste when it comes to movies. I like a lot of classic movies, like stuff from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I also like a lot of like weird art house film. But my favorite movies, like, I have 3 favorite films that I always go to, and I can't make up my mind between them. And they're all comedies from roughly the 70s, give or take. My favorite movies are, in no particular order, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Blazing Saddles, and This Is Spinal Tap. Just, man, Mel Brooks, fucking, the Spinal Tap guys, Harry Shearer, Christopher Guest, and Michael McKean, and, oh, God, and of course Monty Python. Like, anything Monty Python. Oh, I adore Python. I worship at the altar of Python, Oh, I could probably quote you the entire fucking Holy Grail movie from beginning to end and not miss a beat of it, But yeah, those are my favorite movies. But like I say, I have weird taste in movies. I could probably go into some other stuff, but okay. Cartoon physicist. I know you like the Misfits, but in comparison to the crap. Oh, forgive me. The chat's moving so fast now. Oh, I'm wondering if I should put it on slow mode. We have 130 people watching. That's really impressive. Austin Barr. Here's a good one. Dave Matthews. Thoughts on Dave Matthews? Dave Matthews gets kind of a harsh rap. The music. Well, the thing is, growing up in the Midwest, going to Christian school, Dave Matthews was a very big deal. Like, I've seen Dave Matthews like 4 times live, and I'm not even that big of a Dave Matthews fan. My friends in all those circles that I ran with were all huge Dave Matthews fans. And the thing is, like, Dave Matthews, he's unique in that he's unique in that kind of stoner metal-y way, and he's definitely not everyone's cup of tea, but give it to the guy. that motherfucking band can put on a hell of a live show. Holy fuck. Like, Dave Matthews, even though I'm not the biggest fan, is legit one of the best live shows I've ever seen. Dave is a fucking stellar guitar player. People do not give him the proper credit he's due, but man, that guy can just play that motherfucking acoustic guitar like it's second goddamn nature. Like it's a fucking extension of himself. It's fucking ridiculous. The dude is fucking crazy behind his instrument. And I have got to have respect for that, you know, like... And you know, Dave Matthews, the music is pretty good too. Is it Before These Crowded Streets? Forgive me, I might be misquoting that, but Before These Crowded Streets, the album I'm named after, Crash, is pretty good. Under the Table and Dreaming, of course. I even have a weird soft spot for, oh no, not I Did It. The album I Did It is off of, it's got space between Every Day? I think it's Every Day. But yeah, fucking Dave Matthews, like, really, really good stuff. I got a lot of respect for Dave Matthews. You think I wouldn't be into it, and I get why a lot of people aren't into it, but fuck, you know what, I'll give Dave Matthews his credit. It's probably never something I'll get the chance to, like, review or talk about in depth necessarily, but yeah, Dave Matthews, like, legit, he doesn't deserve the hate he gets. His audiences kind of suck. Like, I have to admit, every Dave Matthews show I went, the band was great, but just the worst fucking crowds I've ever seen, you know? Just assholes being loud, and, you know, people just being really rude and obnoxious, and the weed cloud is, like, fucking dense as all fuck, you know? I mean, that's to be expected, but... Just, you know, I've horrible crowds at Dave Matthews shows for whatever bloody reason, but the music is good. The band is legit. They put on a fucking good show, and they deserve respect for that. Forgive me. Okay. This one's been coming up a bit too. Matthew Conquerin, thoughts on The Cure. I do really love The Cure. Like, though I hate to admit it, I'm kind of a greatest hits fan when it comes to The Cure. Like, I'm not, like, crazy in depth when it comes to The Cure. But the thing is, like, the stuff that's, like, I love a lot of their classic stuff, like Boys Don't Cry, fucking Mint Car, fucking Pictures of You, like... And Disintegration. Like, that is one thing I will say. Disintegration. There's the old South Park joke about Disintegration was the best thing ever created. It ain't fucking far from the truth. That album is so fucking legit. Fucking Spider-Man. Oh, the best song about Spider-Man that's not actually about Spider-Man. Just, fucking lovely fucking music from The Cure. And the thing is, they're still going, and I've heard some of their later output, and it's still pretty good. Like, give it up for Robert Smith. The man really has a lot of talent out there. Like, he's kind of a weird dude, but man, when he's making music this good, who the hell cares? It's great. Fucking hell yeah, The Cure. I need to listen to more Cure. I need to become one of those deep web fans, you know? I need to really get into The Cure, but I've just never quite had the time to go full sadistic on The Cure's output. Dominic Alteri, do I have vinyl records? I used to have a vinyl collection back in the day. Actually, my first few Rock Critic episodes did feature my vinyl collection. I started collecting vinyl around the same time I started the Rock Critic, but unfortunately I ran into a bad financial situation early on in the days, where I basically had to sell, like, pretty much anything that wasn't necessary to live. You know, just, I wasn't making a lot of money at my job at the time, and, like, my rent was unusually high, and it was, you know, a series of things where I ran into a bad month and had to just basically sell, like, I had to sell, like, my PlayStation 3 at the time. I had to sell... I came about this close to selling my computer. That would have been a huge blow to the show. That would have been it for the show. It's weird to think we really almost came about this close to dodging a bullet there, but yeah, like, yeah, but I started collecting vinyl back when I started the Rock Critic. Actually, one of my ideas was to make my backdrop where I would be on camera all of my vinyl collection. Just like make a wall of vinyl collection of all my favorite albums that I had on vinyl and just have that, me backdropped against that. That was originally going to be my setup, but like I said, I had to sell the whole thing. I sold all my records. I even sold my record player, so, you know, there wasn't even a chance of getting back into it. Vinyl collecting is something I would like to get back into, but again, it's just I don't have a practical use for it at this point, you know, especially when like Spotify and iTunes and you know, digital music makes my job so easy to get and obtain music to listen to. Like, collecting vinyl would pretty much be a hobby sort of expense, you know, and it's an expensive hobby, too. Fucking vinyl collecting gets really up there. Especially if you know, get sadistic about it and want to hunt down the rare shit, which I totally would. Just knowing me, that is totally something I'd do. But, yeah, I hope to get collecting someday. One vinyl collection I do want to get sometime before I die, if it's at all humanly possible, is the Bad Religion 30-year collection. Bad Religion, like back when they celebrated their 30th anniversary, they released every single one of their albums in a huge fucking box set. Just a huge vinyl box set. It's the box set that even includes Into the Unknown. Like, it's the only repressing of that particular album that ever fucking happened and probably ever will fucking happen. And God, I would have loved to get my hands on that back in the day, but no, I had to miss it. I had to miss that. But yeah, I would love to get my hands on that somehow. Again, it's just a matter of, you know, it's just a matter of, like I say, I need to justify that that expense. It's an expensive hobby to get back into, and I don't have the excuse to justify it just yet. Maybe someday, but not in the immediate near future. I did see someone ask a very, very good question. When is Green Day Part 2 coming out? Guys, okay, Green Day Part 2, probably not gonna happen until, here's my goal. My goal is to try and have Green Day Episode 2, The Opera Years. That episode will be covering American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown. I want to have that out by the end of June. I say I want to have that out because God only knows the number of things that could go wrong, the number of things that could get in the way, my scheduling, and just keeping up with other... you know, like I said, I need to get a bunch of catch-up quickies done. Poor Game & Crash. We hit 1,000 subs on Game & Crash here really recently. And that's a huge landmark, but I haven't been able to do jack shit for it because I've been so busy catching up on Rock Critic stuff, you know? But yeah, my goal is to have that episode out before the end of June. I can't necessarily guarantee that's something that's going to happen, but I will try my damnedest, okay? If we don't hit that mark, I'll be sure to let you know, but like my whole idea with Rise and Fall of Green Day is to do oh my God, I'm still the Green Day retrospective. I'm still in that mindset. Like I mentioned, it was originally the Rise and Fall of Green Day, but that changed. Yeah, my goal for the Green Day retrospective is to have that finished within the year. I want to do the thing I couldn't do with the Weezer retrospective and actually get the whole thing done in a year. So yeah, I'm thinking within the next 3 months, we'll get Opera Years out. Within the next 3 months after that, we'll get Part 3 on Uno, Dos, and Tre. And then Part 4, we'll do Revolution Radio. Hopefully they don't announce or release anything in the meantime after that. But if they do, we'll lump that into Rev Radio too. And yeah, like... that's my loose goal for the series as it progresses. That's my loose goal. Like I say, full lengths are a bitch and a half to get done. So I can't guarantee that happening necessarily, but I will try my damnedest, guys. And I will be putting out new stuff for Game & Crash too. It's just finding time to do it is my big deal. Holy fuck, every cool game in the fucking world came out in March. It figures I would do the bulk of my work on that Green Day episode in March, and then Nier Automata came out, and Mass Effect Andromeda, and I can't even fucking remember everything that came out in March. Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn, and like a million cool games came out in March, and I didn't get a chance to review any of them. Oh, I fell so far behind I didn't even get a chance to review Neo. Oh, but it's I do my best, guys, but I don't know, even I have my limits, you know. Oh, that's Glass 2. Thoughts on John Frusciante from Wait What? I'll say this. Love his stuff with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Not as into his solo work necessarily, but I don't dislike it. It's just kind of a different thing. It's a more experimental, more kind of sort of let's just see what we can do as opposed to making melodies and music kind of deal. But I dig it. I dig John Frusciante. You can tell he's got passion for that stuff. You can tell he loves making that stuff on his solo works. He adores making that kind of music. I prefer his Red Hot Chili Pepper stuff though. I mean, that's just personal taste. Actually, guys, I will be right back. I need to take care of something that's happening off camera. I will promise I will be right back. Just give me 1 second, okay? BRB. Oh, fuck. See, that's what I was motherfucking afraid of. Alright, come on. Oh, you little bugger. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. Ugh. Technical difficulties. Oh, of course this all happens at once. Okay. Just sit tight with me, gang. Okay. There. Just stay put while I take care of that. Okay, we're back. Oh, I'm sorry about that, guys. Like I said, just had some stuff off camera I needed to resolve. Plus I had to use the bathroom super quick. I'll just be real with you. And holy fuck, why? Okay, my microphone just keeps tipping here. Alright. You guys can hear me okay, right? About to say we didn't lose when we dropped it, we didn't lose. Okay, we're just gonna have to make do. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, I think we're all right. Oh, you guys heard me peeing? Oh god. Well, I told you I had to use the bathroom, so that too. So, okay, Acroloff. Okay, back to the basics though. I heard someone Akraloth, you said best favorite psychedelic band. I like Les Claypool's stuff. Les Claypool is always a good go-to. Primus is always a good choice there, along with like his solo stuff and some of the other stuff he's done is super cool. I'm not the biggest psychedelic rock guy, but Les Claypool is always a pretty safe bet when it comes to psychedelia. So I'm always into that. And of course, I hate to be Mr. Bland and boring about it, but Pink Floyd. I mean, you can't go wrong with Floyd, man. Some of the best fucking like fucking Wish You Were Here is another one of my favorite albums of all time. That and of course fucking Dark Side of the Moon. I mean, how can you deny Dark Side of the Moon? Dark Side of the Moon is fucking brilliance. It's fucking stupendous. But yeah, Pink Floyd, anything Les Claypool touches is usually a safe bet. I'm okay on stuff like King Crimson and like Yes and early Genesis. It's okay. I'm not as psyched about it as others tend to be, but it's pretty good. I already answered one of Alex's questions, so let's see what else we got here. Oh man, forgive me, the chat is moving really fast. Ween. Okay, I heard someone say Ween. I've seen Ween come up a bunch of times anyway. So Ween, I wish Ween was still active. I wish they were still around. I don't have an opinion on Ween because I don't know where to fucking start with Ween. Ween is one of the most intimidating bands I've ever seen from a catalog perspective because their albums are so drastically different from each other. It's just like, wow, like those guys never seem to do the same thing twice, or if they do it, it is still drastically different from what they do in some way. Like Ween, they're one of those bands I would love to get into, but man, I don't know where the fucking fuck to start. It's a fucking monster. When I look at Ween, when I look at that catalog, I'm like, it's intimidating, because, like, I mean, like one of these days I do plan to get into Ween. I need a guide. I need a Ween Sherpa to help me navigate the treacherous terrain of Ween, because, like I say, I have no fucking clue where to start with that band, because they've gone in so many directions. I have the same kind of issue with Beck. Beck has done a lot of stuff, except I'm more familiar with Beck. Like, I'm more familiar, particularly with, like, Odelay and Sea Change and Guero. Like, I've had some time with Beck. But Beck is always fucking around with his catalog, too. He never seems to stay on one idea for too terribly long. So Beck is also very intimidating. Like, I want to get into Ween. I just don't know exactly how. I need someone more versed in Ween to help get me into Ween before I get into Ween. Actually, an idea I've been thinking about for the show. Let me know if this is something that interests you guys. I've been thinking about doing like some kind of series. Some kind of small, like, I love this song or bad album cover style series. It wouldn't have a ton of jokes or pratfalls or goofy sort of rock criticky stuff in it, but I was thinking about a series for bands that have huge catalogs or bands that seem intimidating to try to get into. I was thinking about a series, something along the lines of maybe calling it like Where to Start or How to Get Into. Going over bands like, like bands like Rush or bands like The Tragically Hip or Bad Religion, all my favorite bands, of course. but throwing out like a little guide, helping people see where they should start, where their best stuff is, or where, the most user-friendly kind of stuff is. Maybe putting out a video series that would help people get into other bands like that. I feel like that could be a very, a very useful show for people. I feel like that could help some people sort of help get into bands that would, actually, I know because The Onion used to, not The Onion, the AV Club used to have articles like that. Maybe they still do, where they had an article series where they would help people get into certain bands. Like, I think I read one on They Might Be Giants way back in the day. But yeah, that is something I've always wanted to do. But yeah, that's something that, and Ween would be a good example for that once I get accustomed to Ween. But yeah, yeah. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in, because like that might be something you see further on down the line. Let me see. Oh my the name lost me, but my preferred type of guitar. Oh, see, the thing is, I'm only just recently getting back into playing music again. Actually, even the guitar you see in the background there, that's not actually my guitar. I'm actually guitar sitting for a friend of mine who's currently, well, not currently, but he just got back from a long. He basically took a year and basically globe-trotted, just traveled all across Southeast Asia. It was mostly Southeast Asia. He dipped around in Australia, New Zealand, and some other places. But he went globe trekking for a year, and I've basically been house sitting his guitars for the past year or so. And he's been back. He's been back for a few months now. I just been really Tim, if you're watching, forgive me, buddy. Like, I promise I'll get that back to you sometime. But yeah, I've just been babysitting his guitars. But since I've been recording music more, I've actually been putting them to use a bit. That's why they're out and about. Usually I would have them stored and, properly taken care of. But I've been actually trying to record some stuff here lately, and you might see more of that in the future. But yeah, my preferred guitars. Growing up, I played Fenders like crazy. I had a awesome little Mexican Fender Fender Telecaster that was just for a cheap Mexican build guitar, it was really nice sounding, really clean, really smooth. I do love Tellies. They're not great for everything, but man, a good Telly in the right hands can really pull off some amazing stuff. Tellies are great, but not something I'd go to. I would say my favorite guitars are probably I love Gibson SGs. Like Gibson SGs, they knock out a tune kind of easily. Pretty much all Gibsons do, though, especially the Les Pauls. But Gibson SGs, they're so versatile. You can use them for fucking anything. You can use them for slow rock. You can use them for crunchy rock. You can almost use them for metal if you got the right pedal arrangement set up. Like fucking SGs, you can't go wrong with an SG. And I love the Fender. It's totally escaping me. It was the guitar Cobain used to record Nevermind with. I want to say, like, jazz guitar? Surf guitar? Oh, God. Fuck it. I'm going to look this up real quick. But it was, like I say, it was the model of guitar that, Fender Jaguar. That's it, yeah. I knew it was a J. I was kind of half right. But yeah, it was the, excuse me. It was the type of guitar that Cobain used to record most of Nevermind with. Fender Jags, oh my god. I've never owned a Fender Jag, but I have played a decent amount of Fender Jags in my day, and I love Fender Jags. I love them. Just that weird sort of wonky tune you get out of them. And man, when you throw distortion on them, it's so crunchy. It's so crunchy. Oh, God. Like, I'm probably going to buy a bass guitar here in the next following months, but, like, hopefully before the end of the year is out, I'll be able to afford something. Like, there's a music shop near me that actually sells, like, Squier models, Squier stuff, sort of the cheap, beginner grade kind of Fender stuff, but, they have some Squier Jags that look pretty damn good. I could probably do some interesting stuff with those. I would love to get my hands on a Jag. But yeah, a Jag, Fender Jag, or a Gibson SG. Those are my go-tos. I love them. I'm not the biggest, like, guitar nut in the world, but I probably, couldn't tell you too much. But yeah, I do love Jags and SGs. Okay, Video is Video Productions asked a great question that I've always wanted the chance to show you guys. He asked, how do I do the diva voice? I just do it. I don't use any mods. I don't use any special effects. I can just do Diva's voice. It's just, I don't know. Oh, and if Dresden Nova is still watching, he's probably going to lose his shit here. But I will demonstrate how I do the diva voice for you guys. So, here we go. I'm a little diva, and I do fly and sexy, and I'm a little cutie. I eat guitars on Mountain Dew, and little diva. Okay. Now that... there he is. Hi, Dresden. Hi, Dresden. Sorry to make you commit suicide there, buddy. Oh, but, Cobain used a Fender Mustang? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing, but yeah, Fender Jags. Fender Jags. Whether it's a Jag, I'll have to look that up sometime. Forgive me if I just bullshitted that last few minutes, but yeah, like, I do know Fender Jags are great. I need to look that up. But yeah, how do I do diva? Basically, okay, I'll walk you through it. I'll give you the little, sort of whiplash. Okay, first thing you gotta do with diva is basically kind of do like an Elmer Fudd sort of affectation. You sort of want to do, you know, you want to use W's instead of R's, like, I went down to the woad and waste a wascally wabbits. That's step one. Get yourself like a nice sort of cute fuddy affectation. And then bring it to the very tip top of your throat, like I'm a little diva, and I'm gonna walk down the street and do a thing and a thing. Okay, so you basically choke yourself off and talk not from your diaphragm, not from as deep as you can go, but from as high as you can possibly take it, like right at the tippy top of your register. And then from there, once you've like basically cut yourself off, like right at the top of your throat, just adjust your pitch and go into your... speak from the top of your nasal cavity as much as you can. I'm a little diva. 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 And there you go. Please only use that power for good. I use it for enough evil in my day-to-day work. Yeah. I'm a little diva, and I'm gonna get crack. Oh, okay. Oh. My pussy itches. What the fuck is a rock critic? Dude, I don't know, man. Oh, Akraloth asked another good question. Thoughts on Strapping Young Lad and Devin Townsend project? Love Strapping Young Lad. Almost Again is one of my favorite, Strapping Young Lad songs. I forget the name of the album that's off of, but man, I went through like a phase when I first discovered Strapping Young Lad where I probably spun Almost Again like 500 times. Like, I spun that album a bunch of times too. Like, I do really like Devin Townsend's stuff. He's doing, like, Strapping Young Lad had great stuff. Devin Townsend project is also very good. I loved Ziltoid just because of how ridiculous it was. Ziltoid and Z2 were really, really good. And I do like the stuff I've heard from Devin Townsend project. It's just, man, that dude is just a fucking, like, shotgun blast of ethereal sound. Like, that motherfucker does not do subtle. He does not do quiet or does not do subdued. I mean, he can, but Devin Townsend, his approach seems more to be, just right in your face, just full boom, just full fucking cannon blast of sound, and I really do love it. Though it's not something I can sit through. I have trouble sitting through an entire Devin Townsend project album, just because it is such a fucking, like, I tend to have to take it down in chunks, you know? That's why I like the Ziltoid albums, because they're kind of broken up with sketches and other goofy Ziltoid killing the human race for coffee shit, you know? Like, it's broken up with stuff like that to help ease the transition. But man, Devin is just so fucking just ballistic. He has such a fucking blitzkrieg of sound approach. He's almost like the old, like, wall of sound Phil Spector technique, only applied to fucking epic power metal fucking rager sort of shit. I love it. But it is something that's a little too super concentrated for my taste. You know, like I say, Ziltoid is great because not only is it all that, but it's also fucking hilarious. I adore the Ziltoid albums. And again, like I said, I like his other stuff, but I tend to, if you're gonna ask me to spin anything from Devin, I'm probably gonna do some Ziltoid. Or I might just play Almost Again 500 times because I do really love that song. But yeah, Strapping Young Lad, Devin Townsend. Devin Townsend is definitely, if you haven't heard of Devin Townsend or Strapping Young Lad, dude, give it a shot. Like, it might kind of fucking overwhelm you, but it's good stuff. You should not deny yourself the privilege. Okay, I've seen a few people ask about Offspring. My thoughts on Offspring. I'm a big fan of stuff like Smash. I love Smash. I love Ixnay on the Ombre, even though that album gets a lot of hate. Well, Ixnay on the Ombre was actually where I first learned about Offspring. Primarily through the Crazy Taxi soundtrack, you know. But yeah, Smash, Ixnay on the Ombre. Like lots of good stuff in their early catalog. Americana had lots of good stuff on it, but that was when Offspring started to get silly and started to get like kind of mainstreamy. And I mean, I hate to sound like that guy, but Americana, for all its positives, like The Kids Aren't Alright is one of my favorite Offspring songs. Like, oh, I love that song to death. But Americana was the start of some bad habits that Offspring would carry on into their further career. And, you know, it only got worse and worse and progressively worse as they went on. And I even mentioned, just kind of offhand, in my Green Day, in GDR number 1, that, Splinter was where I had to jump off. Like, just, like, I'm surprised I was able to get through Conspiracy of One and Original Prankster. Oh, Original Prankster is pretty fucking disgusting, but, but yeah, but now somehow I soldiered through it. But Splinter with fucking Hit That and like some of the more, like Can't Get My Head Around You, I don't like that song. It's too repetitive. It's too simplistic and dopey, and I don't know. Like Offspring is one of those bands that were really, really great back in the day. But yeah, I wouldn't use the whole sellout phrase because I don't like that phrase, but. And it doesn't really apply here either, but the direction that Offspring has taken their music, I really don't like. And like that last song, I forget what it's even called. The one when I mentioned on Twitter that I couldn't stand. When I mentioned on Twitter, what's the worst Offspring song and why is it Hit That? A lot of you pointed me to their last big single. I can't even remember what it's called off the top of my head, but yeah, it was, when I heard that, whatever it's called, holy fucking shit. Wow. Whew. Like, that band only got worse over time. Offspring, that's the bad thing I hate to say about Offspring. They started out so good, and they stayed pretty good for a really long while, but ever since, the mid-2000s, that band has just had nothing interesting to say. Oh. It's a shame. Like I say, Ixnay on the Ombre and fucking Smash and even Americana, all classics in my book. Bass Lindo, I'm eating gummy bears. Let's say I showed that at the beginning of the stream. I've got gummy bears, white wine, and some Jack Daniels maybe if we get to it, and some Cokes. Maybe I might make a Jack and Coke. I've got that ready to roll. I'm just having a good old time. Nomenclature Rants, Mars Volta. I do like the Mars Volta, but man, I gotta be in the mood for it, because that's another good band I would count towards my good psychedelia bands. They're a great psychedelia band, but wow, holy shit, is it a lot to take in, and again, it's the Active Drive-In guys, it's, what are their names? Fuck. Oh, I just lost a lot of legit At the Drive-In cred, but you know what I mean. It's the Afros from At the Drive-In. and Francis the Mute is great. I love Francis the Mute. That's a good at the drive-in album. I can pretty much spin anytime. Deloused in the Comatorium was also really good. And and the two that they released immediately after that were also very solid. I can't remember them off the top of my head. Rodriguez Lopez, thank you. Bixler Zavala and Rodriguez Lopez, thank you. Unknown Z and Brent Thompson, thank you. I should have known that. I should have fucking known that from the top of my head. But I'm also like this. Like that bottle was full when we started, so yeah, I think the wine is affecting my performance a little bit, but but yeah, like Deloused and Francis the Mute, like their first 4 albums are pretty safe bets, like really, really good stuff there. But I don't know, man, that shit just, again, it got like more bizarre and more crazy and more just fucking all out, and like the crazier it got, the harder it was to follow. And like after the 4th album, I kind of jumped off, but you know, I respect what the Mars Volta was doing. Like, holy shit, like fucking oh, what's that song? Again, like the wine is starting to affect my performance here, but you know, not The Trees, not La Villa Vasquez. Oh, it's got the weird video with the ice cream guy, you know. Things without an answer, free from all this pain. You know, that song. Fuck. What is that called? Well, whatever it is. That song, it was the main single off that song. Like, that was really, really, really great. No, it's not La Villa Vasquez. The Widow, there it is, thank you, yes! Oh, The Widow was great. Oh, I love The Widow. You know, let me die, for I'll never sleep alone. Oh, yeah! Oh, God, fucking hell yeah, that's my shit. That is my shit. Okay, another thing I've seen another one I've seen fly through at least a few times. The Smiths. My thoughts on The Smiths. The Queen is Dead is one of the best albums the 80s ever produced. Like, yeah, I love The Smiths. I love The Smiths. Oh, wait, what? Are you a tenor, bro? Oh, you better believe I'm a tenor. Like, I got that range, motherfucker. Like, yeah, no. I mean, I don't think I'd be able to do Little Diva's voice if I weren't a tenor, you know? But yeah, The Smiths, love The Smiths. Actually, there is something I do want to release on the channel someday. It's a music thing, but it is one of the things I want to release on the channel. Back in my folk days, my notorious folk days, I recorded a cover of There's a Light That Never Goes Out. And I do want to throw that on the channel someday, because it's not I still have the file. And again, it's like the last bit from those folk days that I actually did keep around, because it's not bad. And it's, oh God, it is the one song I ever recorded that the violin, you can't see it, but the violin, if you can see it on my wall back there, the violin on my wall, that is decoration, basically. That is actually a real violin, and on that track... Oh, fuck. The camera didn't show it. Well, you guys know the violin on my wall. It's been on videos. Yeah, that is the one track I ever recorded that features the violin. Like, I actually played the violin on that track, and it's kind of crappy sounding. Like, it's not a great sounding violin, and I don't know how to play the violin, so that's, two things. But, the song itself, the cover itself turned out really great, and that's something I do want to release to the channel eventually, because it's a decent cut of the song. It's one of those few things from my folk days I'm actually kind of proud of. But man, yeah, The Smiths. I love The Smiths. Like, This Charming Man, Sheila Take a Bow, fucking Big Mouth Strikes Again, Sweetness, sweetness, I was only joking when I said... Oh, God. Fucking Morrissey's voice. You gotta love his delivery. He's just so... That motherfucker has a unique fucking brogue, doesn't he? You know? Oh, big mouth, la da 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 da. Just, ugh. Yeah, fucking... And Johnny Marr's guitars. Johnny Marr basically invented 80s guitar work. That motherfucker was one of the best guitar players of the 80s. Like, he wasn't a soloist, he wasn't a shredder, but holy fuck, could that guy write a song? And could that guy craft a listenable riff, you know? It wasn't about blowing you away. It was about making a song that sounded great. And Unknown Z, yeah, Morrissey is an ass. I'm not saying he's a good person. No. Morrissey is kind of a fuck and a half, but... you know, the dude had a good voice. The dude can sing well. You know, I totally give him credit as a performer. He's absolutely exquisite. But yeah, he's kind of an annoying douche. You know, yeah. Actually, I've seen this one come up a few times. A Bolt Thrower. Forgive me, I don't have much of an opinion on Bolt Thrower. I've only heard like one or two songs. I'm not terribly familiar with them. Enough to really give much of an opinion, so forgive me there. I just wanted to snap that in the bud because I've seen that come up a few times. But no, the Smiths, probably one of my favorite bands from the 80s. Absolutely brilliant stuff those guys gave us. Did you see Weezer stream live, or Weezer's played a new Weezer song? I did not see that stream, actually. Forgive me. Pipe Panic Studios, Enter Shikari thoughts. Enter Shikari actually made my best of 2015 list, I believe. Yeah, I believe that was my best of 2015 list. They made an honorable mention. Enter Shikari, what was that last album? I'm a little blitzkrieged at this point, so yeah, well, yeah, guys, this is the bottle. The bottle is empty. I haven't drank it all just yet, but there's still this much left. But yeah, we're on glass number 4. So, but yeah, fucking. Well, that last Enter Shikari album, yeah, that was really great. I was super impressed with Enter Shikari. Enter Shikari is one of those bands. I don't think they have a ton of. They don't have a big following here in the States. I think they have a bigger following in Britain and the UK than they do here. Well, at least a lot of my friends have never heard of Enter Shikari when I bring them up. But yeah, like, holy shit. Yeah, Enter Shikari is one of those bands, if you're not listening to them, yes, you need to be paying attention to them. That next album, whenever it drops, I'll be all over it, guys. Okay, those of you that miss the shit out of Linkin Park, you know, old school, well, I don't want to necessarily say Linkin Park, because, well, it's not nu metal. It isn't nu metal by any stretch, but, like, if you like electronica and really heavy, really crunchy stuff, like, if you like a lot of beep boop in your heavy music, oh my god, Enter Shikari is where you need to motherfucking be. That is your bread, butter, and biscuit, baby. Oh, hell yes. Enter Shikari is basically what I wish Linkin Park sounded like these days. Like, compared to that new stuff I've heard from Linkin Park, let's just say I'm glad I'm drinking right now. Oh, forgive me, that's kind of apropos of nothing, but yeah, the new Linkin Park scares the shit out of me. Especially all the shit they've been saying about about the new album. Ugh, whatever. Favorite glam metal. I've been seeing that come up. Yeah. Believe I've seen that fly through the chat. Forgive me, like, we've got 100 and close to 120 people in the chat. So, but yeah, so forgive me, questions are flying by like crazy here. But yes, I saw, fucking, glam metal. I'm not huge on glam metal personally. Like, I don't like the big shit like Motley Crue and Poison. I'm not really a huge fan of. I think Twisted Sister gets a little more love than they deserve, frankly. Like, they had some good stuff, and they were a very solid band, but I don't worship at the altar of Dee Snider or anything. But yeah, like glam metal. Some stuff that I like from the glam metal scene. Oh, like fucking Scorpions. Scorpions are probably my favorite glam metal from that particular sort of scene. You know, Scorpions are absolutely great. Scorpions were kind of like a full blown just kind of rock band that just happened to sort of be, yeah, you know, I feel like if the Scorpions had formed in the 70s, they would have, well, I mean, if they had gotten big in the 70s at least, that would have been a much different sounding band, but, you know, Scorpions are definitely on that list. I have a weird place for, the Sister Christian guys. Obviously not much of a place because I can't remember their fucking name, but... Oh, and of course, Whitesnake. Whitesnake has some good stuff. I always loved, you know, Here I Go Again on My Own. Fucking Whitesnake had great stuff. Yeah, Scorpions aren't glam. I don't know, like, I guess glam is hard to say, but they were definitely part of the hair metal, 80s metal sort of experience, so... I don't know. I count Scorpions. Like Scorpion. They weren't as full Hairspray. Night Ranger. Night Ranger was another one of those. Thank you. I do like Night Ranger. But, yes. But yeah, were Scorpions like really full Hairspray? Probably not. But man, they were good. They were certainly good for their time. I've seen Muse pop up a million times. Guys, I love Muse. I absolutely love Muse. Favorite Muse albums are... My favorite Muse album is actually Absolution. I really, really, really like Absolution. But, you know, like Third Wave, Black Holes and Revelations. Yeah, the wine is totally affecting me at this point. Black Holes and Revelation... Absolution, I mean. I think... No... Yeah, the wine is totally affecting me. But yeah, Muse, I adore Muse. Like I said, even their last album, like I gave that 5 stars, even though I ended up kind of changing my mind on it as the year progressed, but still, like, I really, really dug it. Like, yeah, Muse is one of those bands, like some people say they get too much credit, and I can understand where that comes from, because they get tons of press coverage. They're like one of the few like kind of rocky bands that actually will like chart in the top 40, will like actually chart on the pop charts, you know, and like they're one of the few rock bands that are still kind of, you know, kicking around in the most mainstream senses, but you know, they're a great band. They write cool, interesting hooks, and they have a great sense of melody, especially when it comes to electronica. These guys can implement samples and keyboards and synthesizers in just brilliant, fucking beautiful ways. Like, Coldplay would kill to have Muse's skills behind the fucking keyboards, you know? But, yeah, like, Muse is super big, but I feel like they deserve to be super big. They are that legit. They're one of those bands that, you know, gets a lot of hype, but also deserves a lot of hype. So, you know, I am totally behind that. I'm totally for that. Oh. Okay, Amiibo Bro Reviews. I've seen you throw that up a bunch of times. Thoughts on Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl? Like, dude, I love Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl. Of course I love Foo Fighters, you know? Fucking Color and the Shape is, like, one of the best fucking things is one of the best albums of the 90s. Like, fucking Color and the Shape is just... Oof. Again, it was one of those albums that helped define the 90s. You know, it helped, once grunge was starting to die off, Foo Fighters helped us find the new direction we needed to go into. You know, in addition to bands like Green Day and, and other acts that came along. But yeah, Foo Fighters, definitely one of the best alt-rock acts that ever fucking existed. And it's weird to think because back when they started, back in their early days, everybody thought they were a joke.
Like, I don't know, this is just my old fart kind of speaking, but, like, back in the day, like, especially off of, like, the first album, like, the self-titled, album, you know, like, a lot of us almost thought it was a joke band back in the day because the videos didn't take themselves very seriously. They were always, like, funny and tongue-in-cheeky, The video for Big Me is literally a goddamn Mentos commercial, Like, it was something that was hard to take terribly seriously, but man, the music was always there. At the end of the day, the chops were still present, even if, you could tell these guys were maybe having a little too much fun. But, Foo Fighters, again, they're like Muse. They're one of those bands that's super fucking huge, and they fucking went on to fucking dominate the planet, but like, they deserved it. Like, they were great. Like, Foo Fighters, I wouldn't say they've ever released a full-blown bad album. They've released some albums that are maybe better than others, maybe one or two that may have been misguided. I'm not particularly fond of, the album that Times Like These and The Pretender is on, like, well, not The Pretender, what's it called? One by One, that's it, yeah. One by One. Like, that song, like, that particular album, it's, I would, yeah, One by One. Thank you, Jacob Sanchez, yes. The thing is, yes, I would say Foo Fighters, do they get a lot of hype? Yes. To the point where it can be kind of exhausting? Of course. But they deserve it. They're great. They're wonderful. They are one of those bands. I don't think they're in the Hall of Fame yet, but yeah, they deserve to be. They will be eventually. Like, Foo Fighters, again, they are a classic band that helped, like I said, they helped shape rock and roll in the 90s, especially after grunge was dying. They helped us find the direction we needed to go. Oh, okay. Let me just fly through these. Oh, Boopa Doop 4182. Okay, guys, forgive me. I'm feeling like I didn't expect to get kind of like blasted on this, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I was feeling happy right now. Like, I'm feeling it. I wouldn't say I'm full blown throwing shit across the room drunk or anything, but I'm feeling kind of giddy, I'm feeling it, but, forgive me. Hey, here's an interesting one. Mio Akiyama, thoughts on GTA Vice City? Good game. Nice GTA game. Excellent follow-up to GTA 3. I feel like that game fixed up a lot of the problems that GTA 3 initially had. The things that made GTA 3 a little awkward and clunky and cumbersome, Vice City helped improve upon. And it had a great style, a great, a nice sense, beautiful environments for the time, and just absolutely gorgeous. A very gorgeous game that basically helped GTA go build in the direction it needed to build into. I wouldn't say it's aged terribly well. A lot of those PS2 GTAs kind of haven't. San Andreas is still a lot of fun, but GTA 3 specifically is kind of a harsh play if you play it these days, and you're more accustomed to, sandbox games of the current era. It's a bit clunky if you actually drag that game out and play it compared to a lot of the other stuff that they've done, that Rockstar has done over the years. But yeah, Vice City. The step that Rockstar needed to take in the right direction. Not my favorite GTA by any means, but hell yeah, I've been looking to get another copy of GTA. I have a PlayStation 2 that I recently acquired here. Been looking to get the old PlayStation 2 copy sometime and just drag that out for a good old-fashioned romp. I have the game on Steam and probably one or two other places. I mean, you can get GTA Vice City on fucking anything these days. But yeah, influential game. I wouldn't say it's one of the best in the GTA series, but yeah, it was a game that needed to happen, and it was a game that was, like, good. That game was way better than it needed to be. That game, basically, that game is what the Driver series always wanted to be. Does anybody remember the Driver series? Ugh. Like, Drivers 1 and 2 were really pretty good, especially for PS1 games. Holy shit, those games were way better than they had any right to be. And then Driver 3 happened and just... Oh, fuck. Oh. Like, fuck. I remember, I rented Drivers 3 back in the day. I took it back after... like, a couple of hours, because that thing was glitchy as fuck. Oh. Like, man... Like, say whatever you want to about the Grand Theft Auto series now and what's become, but, you know, they're the big dogs for a reason. They made a lot of the right moves early on back in the day. They did things right. Rockstar really, really did the right things to keep that series alive. Okay, I've seen this pop up a few times. A lot of people are asking me to talk about The Clash. So, hell yeah. Yeah, I love The Clash. Fucking London Calling is one of my favorite albums of the 80s. Even though it's technically, on like the smallest technicality you could possibly wager, it is technically a 70s album. I believe that album was released in like late December of 79. But yes, London Calling is one of the most important albums of the 80s. Their self-titled debut is also really, really, really good. And fucking Combat Rock is surprisingly solid too. That was like the last proper Clash album. Like, it's got its problems. It's a weird, wonky Clash album, but I have a lot of affection for Combat Rock. You know, it's got stuff like Straight to Hell, and of course Rock the Casbah. You know, you can't deny Rock the Casbah. You know, that piano riff. Oh, and those cheeky as fuck goddamn lyrics, you know? Holy shit. Oh, man. Like, I wish we'd gotten a Rock the Casbah style song while we were, during, like, the War of Iraq, or even during Desert Storm, you know? Like, we needed a good Rock the Casbah song during those times, because Rock the Casbah, oh, fucking hell, you know? Sharif, don't like it. Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah. Like, oh, God. Just so much energy and so much punch, you know? And you know, you didn't usually get that from a Strummer-led song, you know? Because Strummer had such a weird fucking way of singing, you know? Because the verses of that song were really weird sounding, you know? By the order of the prophet, from that radiator grill, you know? But, oh, the chorus comes back around and just brings you back into it, whether you're with it or not. Like, oh. Like, probably my favorite Clash song is a weird one. It's off of London Calling, but I love Lost in the Supermarket. Like, it's such a it's a chill song. It's a really relaxed song. It's one of those songs where, not Paul Simonon, not, oh, forgive me, like, an entire bottle of wine is, oh, wait, hang on, okay, an entire bottle of wine is coursing through my system, so I'm forgetting shit left and right, but, the other, main singer in the Clash is carrying that song for the most part, and, like, God, it's such a groovy, such a beautiful, like, subdued little piece of Clash rock, but the lyrics are weirdly sort of scary and sort of, like, unsettling, you know, and it's just one of those good old-fashioned songs about, you know, the evils of, you know, capitalism gone horribly wrong, you know, of just, you know, it's, you know, just taken to that extreme sort of Brave New World 1984 kind of sense, you know, and it's just so brilliantly executed, but, oh, fuck, I love those chill songs that can absolutely just, I love those chill songs that can sneak in the kind of, wait, what? Long distance callers make long distance calls. Oh, hell yeah. Ugh. But, yeah, I love those songs that can sneak a dark message into a bright, poppy sort of tune, you know? Like, I love Lorde for doing that. Holy fuck, like, Lorde, not so much with her new single and apparently her new stuff, but yeah, Lord's last album, even though, that would seem probably out of my particular wheelhouse, I really did like Lord's last album. Just, it was cynical, it was wry, it was fucking kind of hopeless, but, it came from a very real place, a very fucking awesome kind of place. And I respect Lord for the same reason I like stuff like Lost in the Supermarket. Lost in the Supermarket, I wouldn't say it's my favorite Clash song, but hell yeah, it's one of my absolute favorites. I mean, probably my favorite is probably just like stuff like London Calling, or I'm So Bored with the USA, or Tommy Gun. You can't deny Tommy Gun. Tommy Gun! Oh god, hell yeah. Like, Jimmy Jazz, another good one. Ethan Bennett, hell yeah. Scott Barber, I've seen you throw this song up there this one up there 1,000 times. Thoughts on Deftones? Love Deftones. Love Deftones. One of the few bands from the, whole 90s and 2000s nu metal scene that really survived, that really were able to rise above everything that nu metal was doing back in the day. Primarily because, Deftones kind of just got lumped into that genre against their will almost. Deftones was always just kind of doing Deftones' own thing. It just happened to kind of sound like nu metal when nu metal got big, so they kind of got lumped in along with everybody else. But yeah, Deftones, Deftones were doing way more. Deftones were doing more than just the nu metal kind of, I have pain sort of shtick. Deftones were really doing exciting stuff, and they continued to do exciting stuff throughout that entire era, that entire decade. Man. And the Deftones, stuff like Around the Fur, fucking White Pony, fucking Saturday Night Wrist, Deftones, the self-titled album is really good. Deftones is one of those bands that have had a long career but have delivered time and time and time and time and time again. Fucking Gore was as good as, was as good as White Pony or Saturday Night Wrist, Gore made my top list of last year, I believe. And yeah, Deftones, probably one of my favorite nu metal bands from that era, and certainly one of my favorites that have survived into the present day. You gotta give credit for Deftones for just being able to carry it out throughout all the years, just never compromising, never, falling into the mainstream, sort of things, never bowing to corporate pressure, or, making so many of the mistakes that so many bands make. And, you got to give it to Deftones for just having that legit punch, that legit drive, and that legit talent to make it throughout all these years. Except for Back to School. I'm sorry, but Back to School is so fucking hilarious. It's so fucking derpy and weird and dumb and stupid, and that was the one time Deftones sold out, And it's I almost can't fault them for it, because it's so bad. It's one of those songs that's so bad it's kind of good. It just does everything late 90s nu metal core sort of. It's it's everything Deftones shouldn't be, but they're kind of weirdly embracing it and taking the piss out of themselves while doing it. So I can't necessarily fault them for Back to School, but it is one of those songs I watch and laugh at. I do Mystery Science Theater 3000 it, where I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it, but primarily because of how fucking ridiculous it is, But hey, props to them. Even when Deftones, even in that rare chance when Deftones sells out, they do a good job with it. You know what? There are plenty of other bands who don't have that luxury, so props to them. Fuck yeah, Deftones. I'm all about Deftones. I've seen some of you guys ask for Quiplash. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't have Quiplash set up, actually. I don't have it, and it would take a while to actually get situated and set up properly, so maybe we can do that some other time, but yeah, sorry guys, we can't do Quiplash or any games tonight. I just don't have it set up and properly working. And it would take forever to get running too. And plus, I've been having some issues when streaming games. If some of you were present for the Neo stream I tried to do over on Game and Crash, my Elgato is acting like a complete fucking diva right now. And not a real diva, but, you know, like a diva. Like, it's just not cooperating with me. And, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Fuck. But yeah, games have been a little weird for me to stream lately, so I'm working on getting that resolved. But yeah, sorry guys, we can't do Quiplash. Maybe some other time once I get it up and running a bit more. Once I get it up and running, we might give that a shot. But yeah. Okay, we're about an hour and 45 minutes. You know, I've probably got another half hour in me, give or take. Let me pour myself another drink here. Let me just look at what you guys are saying in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of Dance Gavin Dance. I really do enjoy Dresden. Yeah, dude. I'm not putting Little Diva in there just specifically to piss you off. But I have to admit, every time you chime in and say this is pissing me off, it does make me kind of happy and kind of like in that kind of Schadenfreude. I kind of enjoy your suffering sort of thing. Dresden's a friend of mine, so it's, you know, it's okay. The thing is, he'll kill me on his own time, so no need to worry about that. But yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, like, I like Dance Gavin Dance. I've only just recently really gotten into them. Mothership made an honorable mention on my best of 2015, and I really did love it. Like, holy shit, Dance Gavin Dance, that's some nice tech. That is some good tech punk, isn't it? Like, that stuff is crazy complicated, crazy, like, all over the place, and crazy just, like, from a musical perspective. As someone that is a musician and plays music, I got a lot of respect for Dance Gavin Dance, because I couldn't do half the shit they're doing on the albums I've heard from them. We've graduated to Jack and Coke right now. I didn't make it terribly strong. I mean, I'm already a little toasted, so I don't want to get too crazy bonkers, but yeah, Dance Gavin Dance, really impressed with them, really like them. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Corbin Garber. That's one of those bands I've been told I need to get into, but I just haven't had the chance to necessarily. Just never got around to it. I like the one or two songs I've heard, but I don't have much of an opinion outside of that. Pretty solid. I'm interested to hear more, but I haven't heard more, so... sorry, I don't have much to give you there. Okay, I'm sorry. Cheesy Puffs 15 and several others have asked me this all fucking stream. And, Sum 41. My thoughts on Sum 41. I'm a little conflicted with Sum 41. Because, like, it's not a band I love. Like, I don't hate Sum 41. I don't think they're, like, one of the worst things to ever happen to pop punk, like some people seem to think, but I don't love them necessarily either. I think maybe they're a teensy bit overhyped, like just a bit. Like, not crazy, but, you know, just a little bit, okay, All Killer No Filler, like their biggest album, the album that everybody sings praises to off the tops of the heavens, you know, and All Killer No Filler is not that great. I'm sorry, but it's okay, you know, it's very indicative of its time. It's very, very late 90s kind of pop punk. But, you know, when I listen to stuff like that, Half Hour of Power has its moments too, their first album, but, you know, the thing is, Sum 41, especially earlier in their career, like Blink-182 was doing it better. Eventually All American Rejects and whatnot came along and they were doing it better. There were lots of other bands that came along and just did what, in my opinion, what Sum 41 did there were lots of bands that came along and did what Sum 41 was doing better. So I never got fully on the Sum 41 hype train necessarily. They did get interesting as they moved along, though. Does This Look Infected had some really interesting stuff on it, especially when they tried to fuse metal into their sound? That was an interesting take. You did not see that too much. Hi, Brett Thompson. I see you there. But yes, like Does This Look Infected was good. Chuck had some interesting stuff on it. That's the thing with Sum 41. As soon as they started getting terribly interesting, that was when people kind of started to drop off. And once their guitarist left the band, they really started to kind of lose me after that. Like the albums they released immediately after Chuck really left a lot to be desired. But 13 Voices was really legit. Like 13 Voices was a hell of a comeback. I even said as much on my best of 2016 list. Like, that made the honorable mentions. It came about this close to making the list proper, truth be told. I was really impressed. The first video had me scared because it was all just memes and shit, but yeah, like, the music on that album ended up being way, way more solid than I was ever expecting it to be. And, like, yeah, I was super, super crazy impressed. And, you know, I don't know if Sum 41 has much of a future, but 13 Voices proved that they at least learned from their mistakes in the past, and it does make me optimistic for the next album. If Sum 41 has another album in them, I will definitely give that a spin, and we'll definitely see if they can carry that momentum on. But hell yeah, Sum 41... maybe a little over... The thing is, the stuff that gets all the hype doesn't necessarily deserve it in my book. The stuff that doesn't get hype deserves more hype. And, basically everything until their old guitarist joined the band, came along. You know, whatever. Oh, well, thanks for joining, Ushin. I saw you jump in there. Thanks for joining. Sorry to see you go. Have a good night. Thank you for jumping in. Again, I appreciate it. Okay, wow, we still have like 91 people streaming, so... Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. AJW has a really good question that isn't about a specific band. Any bands I specifically dislike. Just anything I specifically just really don't like. Korn, like I've already mentioned, would definitely make that list. Like, I don't even have the greatest reasons in the world for disliking Korn. I just don't like Korn. It's just not my thing. I don't care. No matter how much you make me try to care about Korn, I don't care about Korn. I'm sorry. I've tried to care about Korn. I don't care about Korn. Some other bands, this might break a few hearts, but Avenged Sevenfold, like, I gave their last album a try. I honestly did spin it, and I thought about reviewing it for Game & Crash, but I just don't care. Like, Avenged Sevenfold has never done anything that's amazed me. Some of the stuff off of City of Evil was really, really good. I do like Beast and the Harlot, and I do love Bat Country. If only because I do have a place in my heart for Hunter Thompson. I mean, you know, I went through my Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas phase, like a lot of post-collegiate and post-collegiate kids do from my specific time. And yeah, that's a great song about Hunter's work. You know, I do love Bat Country. And yeah, like City of Evil is probably as good as Avenged Sevenfold ever got, but everything else has just been really uninteresting. Either uninteresting or full-blown bad. Like their early stuff, their stuff prior to Bad Country, it's just pretty bad in my book. I can't listen to that shit and not just full-blown giggle a bit. I'm sorry if you like Avenged Sevenfold. I'm not trying to shit on your dick or anything, but, you know, it's just not great. I just don't have much love for it, you know? But Avenged Sevenfold, it's another reason why I haven't necessarily reviewed Avenged Sevenfold on the show. Just because, you know, I can't necessarily get into it as much as other people do. I get the appeal, but it's not my favorite by any stretch. Another recent band that I can list that's also in that book. and I know because I saw it. Patrick Garbley is actually suggesting it. Starset. Dude, I'm sorry. It's okay. It's very okay. It's full blown, very solid okay. But that's about all I got for it. That's about all the love I got for it, man. I don't know, I guess maybe because I listen to a lot of prog and I listen to a lot of more heady atmospheric stuff. But like what Starset is doing, I've heard done better by other bands. Like, yeah, I can even see you there. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I don't mean to break your heart, man. I know. I'm sorry. But I'm not feeling it. I've tried. I have certainly tried. I almost reviewed their last album on the show, but I just didn't have much to say about it. And you know, like I said, I've heard other bands do what they're doing better. I would much rather jump into a Between the Buried and Me album or a band I recently just heard for the Catch-Up Quickie, Soen. That's another band that's doing what Starset is doing, only like kind of better. Like I don't hate Starset. I don't like feel like, oh, they're terrible. You know, I don't feel like them the way I would feel about like a Muir or an actual. They're not a shitty band, not at all. But it's just, I don't know. It's kind of boring to me. I'm sorry. It just doesn't do much for me. But I mean, that's all relative. That's all just taste, you know. Like, what affects me affects other people differently, so I won't fault you for it. Zach Ritchie, I've seen you bring this up 1,000 times. I will definitely address you now. Dying Fetus. My thoughts on Dying Fetus. Like, pretty good. You don't hear that particular style of, like, death metal from an American band like that. I like that they are one of the American groups that's doing kind of what they're doing. Like, they're in that sort of Cannibal Corpse kind of vein of just that extreme, just kind of, just the gravel vocals and just the kind of blood, guts, and murder style metal that they do. But I do love Dying Fetus. Homicidal Retribution is the shit. Like, oh my god. I fucking love that song. Like, a lot of the stuff off of the album that's off of is pretty good too. Yeah, Dying Fetus is one of those bands I like for the same reason I like Cannibal Corpse and like Anal Cunt and other things to that extent. Like, it's so extreme, it's so brutal, it's so fucking as crazy as metal can get, you know, and there aren't a ton of American bands that, push that limit, Usually, if you want to go for the crazy shit, you gotta go to, like, Northern Europe, That's where a lot of the crazier shit comes from. But I have a lot of respect for what Dying Fetus is doing. They're doing really good stuff, and I like them. And I hear they put on a fucking brilliant live show. Like, I've had some friends who've actually seen them live, and I had the chance to go a few years back, and I didn't fucking take it, and honestly, I've regretted it to this day. I've always wanted to see them live, because I hear they put on a hell of a live show. But, yeah, fucking Dying Fetus. Like, that's a band, like, a lot of you may not have heard of, necessarily. If you're willing to try out some of the more extreme metal sort of phases, Dying Fetus is actually a nice band that might help get you acclimatized to it. Like, Dying Fetus is a nice entry-level sort of death metal kind of band, They're a nice... If Cannibal Corpse intimidates you a little too much, Dying Fetus might be a nice little... just a teensy little step down to help you kind of get into it. Like Dying Fetus is a great sort of... Like, they're entry-level, but I don't mean that as an insult. They're entry-level in that they're easier to take in than some other bands of that genre. I'm definitely high into it. Subject to a Beating, yeah, that's a good one. That is another good one. Yeah, I agree. I'm totally with you, dude. 10 Years from Shrek is Life. I've seen that pop up a few times. I'm into 10 Years. That first album, their first couple of albums were super good. I hate to admit it, but I haven't kept good tabs with them necessarily. They were one of the bands I sort of heard, like, they were one of the later sort of bands that came along as nu metal was starting to die out, kinda. And as nu metal started to die out, I kinda lost interest. So, I was jumping ship on nu metal when 10 Years was starting to get big, and I did like 10 Years, That first, like I said, that first album is stellar. That first album is stupendous. But I was trying to get away from nu metal. I actually mentioned something like this in the Ketchup Quickie once that comes out. But yeah, they were one of those bands that I did like from the later era of nu metal, but I didn't keep good tabs with them because I was starting to not listen to nu metal when they were starting to break bigger, so I lost track of them fairly early. But like the stuff I've heard post their first few albums is really good. But yeah, 10 years, and they're a band that doesn't quite get what they deserve, you know? Like, they deserve more hype. More people should know about 10 years. 10 years is one of those bands that deserves to be celebrated, but really isn't. They've got some really good stuff, and they've got a really great lead singer. Really good singer. Dude has some nice pipes on him, and some good lyrics, too. Some very socially conscious, very socially aware stuff. But yeah, really, really good stuff. 10 years is really great. I've seen Trivium pop up a couple times. Grillmore, I know you've been firing Trivium up a few times. Love Trivium. Like, I don't get, like, when I worked for Metal Sucks back in the Critical Condition days, back when that was a show, I remember I got a lot of shit for putting Trivium's latest album in my top metal albums of the year. But the thing is, I don't care. Trivium is fucking brilliant. Trivium is great. I love Trivium. Like, I almost feel like it should be a guilty pleasure, but it's not. I love Trivium. Like, I love Trivium, and I'm not even slightly ashamed of it. Like, fucking In Waves is great. Shogun is fucking brilliant. Shogun is one of my favorite albums by them. And of course, you know, like, even The Crusade, which is the one album that people really, really shit on all the time, I don't think it's that bad. It's different, and it's not... I can understand why people don't like it, but, yeah, I don't know. I still get some enjoyment out of, The Crusade for what it is, you know. It's different. It ain't everyone's cup of tea, but I dig it. I totally dig it. Yeah, Trivium is just great. I love Trivium. One of my favorite metal bands, actually. I adore Trivium. I saw someone ask what happened to Critical Condition, and, you know, I'm happy to answer that for you. The thing is, me and the guys at Metal Sucks, we left on great terms. I love the guys at Metal Sucks. Axel Rosenberg and Vince Neilstein are just great people to work with. Probably some of the best freelance bosses. I use bosses extremely loosely here, but probably some of the best cats I've ever worked in as a journalist in that particular sense. But no, I loved working for Metal Sucks. Those guys were always, were always super understanding of things if something came up or if something got in the way. They always paid on time, which is always, always a great thing if you're a freelancer. I know some of you freelance, so yeah, you'll definitely understand what I'm talking about there. Yeah, but I had nothing but a wonderful, wonderful time working for Metal Sucks, and it sucks that I can't do it anymore. I will say this much: if to those of you aspiring writers out there, writers and content creators, if Metal Sucks ever puts out another call for, if they ever put out a call like we're looking for writers or we're looking for video creators, like if they ever do that again, like legit jump on it, like get on that horse, because like I said, Metal Sucks was a terrific site to work with. I loved working for Metal Sucks. Honestly, if things hadn't... Oh, hey, Ileana, how's it going? Hi, glad you could join us. If other things hadn't gotten in the way, I would still be working for Metal Sucks, because I loved it, and those guys are great. And a lot of the other people I met through Metal Sucks are great. I got a chance to meet Brian Storm through Metal Sucks. Crazy nice guy. One of the nicest fucking guys you'll ever meet. Chuck and Godless, who were formerly of the Metal Sucks podcast, are now running, I believe it's called The Metal Show or The Metal Podcast, something. Oh, God, Chuck and Godless, if you ever see this, forgive me. I should totally know this, but I haven't been listening to a lot of podcasts lately, so forgive me, guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, Chuck and Godless also super, super nice guys. Like Chuck is just Chuck is just a fucking teddy bear. I fucking love the dude. He's just absolutely nice, warm, genial, personable. So wonderful. I love Chuck and Godless. Godless will argue. Godless like Godless is what I. If you if Godless disagrees with you, he will let you know, and he will argue your ass out of the room. Like he will fucking slay you in an argument. But man, dude, but like I said, Godless is also super nice. Godless was actually one of the guys that helped me get on Metal Sucks. Godless was one of the guys who liked my stuff, and he was part of the reason why I was able to bullshit my way onto the Metal Sucks podcast, if any of you remember that. Yeah, Godless just really liked what I was doing and said, hey, you should jump on the podcast. You know, even though I was like that, I think that was before I even had 5,000 subs. They just let me come on, apropos of nothing. And, you know, that was, like, super, super nice of them. Like, Chuck and Godless gave me my first podcast appearance. And, like, that was super nice of them because they did not have to do that. Like, that was... You know, Chuck and Godless, you know, around that time, they were interviewing guys like Randy Blythe and fucking, you know, like, actual real people from the metal scene. And here I was, this derpy-ass YouTuber who bullshitted his way into a metal writing gig. But, you know... Godless liked my stuff, and he had a lot of respect for what I was doing, and he, you know, I really respected that. Like he really genuinely liked what I was doing, and he helped me get on there and helped establish those relationships with Metal Sucks. And like I say, I have nothing but good thoughts and good memories of the Metal Sucks crew, and you know, like I say, if that call to arms ever comes up, if you can get a chance to work with them, totally work with them, because they're some of the super coolest guys you could ever hope to work with. But basically the reason, forgive me, I've been super rambly. The reason that Critical Condition eventually ended was simply because I didn't have time for it. I had a lot of other stuff going on at my day job, and I wanted to get Game and Crash off the ground, and... like, Rock Critic stuff was also starting to get more intense, so there was just lots of other stuff I wanted to do, and eventually it came to a point where where I had to cut something. I had to cut some stuff from my life in order to, you know, continue doing all the things I wanted to do, and unfortunately Metal Sucks was just the easiest thing. I had to let go of it. Like... So I told them, you know, guys, I'm sorry, I just don't have the time to work for you anymore. And they were also super, super nice, and they were super cool about it. And they even said, hey, anytime you want to come back, just let us know. We'll do what we can for you. We can't guarantee anything, but, you know, you were a treat to work with. We loved working with you. So, yeah, guys, I got nothing but love for the Metal Sucks guys. So, yeah, like, I don't know if things have played out a little differently. Maybe I would still be working for them, but... you know, que sera. Like I said, great guys, love them to death. If you get the chance to work with them, totally take it, because they're great. Especially from a freelancer perspective, it's really hard to find decent publications that'll treat you half decently as a freelancer. So yeah, I will totally point to Metal Sucks as a one of those outlets that will treat you well and will pay you when the time to pay actually comes. As a very scarce resource in our world, but hell yeah, Metal Sucks is great. I got nothing but love for him. Forgive me. Yeah, the chat's been going like crazy. I've seen it. Brand New has come up a bunch of times, so I want to address that really quick. I love Brand New. Brand New is one of my favorite fucking bands ever. Honestly, they were one of the bands I regretfully had to cut from my top 10 favorites list. If I ever do another top 10 favorites bands lists, Brand New will totally make the list. They'll make it super high, too. Deja Entendu is one of the best fucking albums ever made. So is The Devil and God Are Raging Inside of Me. Like, Brand New... like... God, Deja Entendu was my college years. Like, I listened to that album so many goddamn times. throughout my college years. That album basically got me through college. Like, oh, holy shit, that album is such a fucking treat. It's so brilliant. It's basically, Brand New was the band that helped us realize that emo could be legit music, you know? It wasn't like just a scene, or it wasn't just like something that was a fad, or something that we were all gonna forget about after 10 years, you know? No. Emo could produce some real, legit, genuine, like, really thoughtful and interesting music. Like, classics were gonna come from the emo genre, and Brand New helped us realize that that was a possibility. Like, fucking Deja Entendu. Oh, my God. Like, do I even... Oh, fucking... See, it's hard for me to remember the song titles. That is one thing I will say about that album. It was one of those albums that was a victim of emo song name syndrome, where, you know, the song titles were just nothing but long, unrelated strings of bullshit. So it's hard to remember what those songs were actually called, especially when you're more than a little drunk. Cheers. But yeah, fucking Me versus Maradona versus Elvis, The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. Oh, fucking... Oh, The Boy Who Blocked His Own Shot. The Boy Who Blocked His Own Shot. Like, Brand New is another one of those bands that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if they'll make it, but, yeah, I sincerely hope they do. Okay, we're approaching 2 hours and 15 minutes, so, okay, and I'm very, very drunk. So I do want to kind of blitz through some of your questions that have been coming up over and over again, and then I want to premiere our new ketchup cookie. Like I say, we're going to try to premiere it here on the stream, but if it doesn't work, I'll premiere it just on the channel proper. But let me just blitz through some of your questions that have been coming up that I haven't had a chance to. Coheed and Cambria, love them. Love them, love them, love them. 3 and Keeping Secrets in Quiet Earth 4, probably my favorites. Adore them. Royal Blood, I loved their last album. I'm not so sure on their new one. Truth be told, I've only given it 1 or 2 listens, but I don't know. I'm not so sure on the new one. It's I loved their last one. Their last one was a real fucking treat, a real fucking throwback. But I don't know about their new one. It hasn't quite grown on me yet. Faith No More. Absolutely love them. I love them. I have to admit, though, I'm not a big fan of a lot of the stuff Mike Patton did after Faith No More, but I do like Faith No More. Fucking... Again, forgive me, I am blitzkrieged right now. I am blitzkrieged on booze and gummy bears, so I cannot remember. See, I hate that, because when I get drunk, I cannot remember album names, or song titles, or the things that I fucking do for a living, you know? Oh, God. I'm such a fucking hack. Why do any of you watch me? But yeah, legit. I love Faith No More. R.E.M., one of my favorite fucking indie bands ever. Murmur is an album every single one of you should have heard. Every single one of you needs to listen to Murmur. Murmur and, For the People, By the People, Automatic for the People. Automatic for the People. Murmur and Automatic for the People are albums all of you need to buy. I'll need to listen to. Jordan Butler, Third Eye Blind. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah, Third Eye Blind. Fucking Out of the Vein is one of the best motherfucking albums most of you have probably never heard, but oh my God, fucking like the self-titled album and Out of the Vein, like especially Out of the Vein. Holy fuck, Out of the Vein is fucking perfection. It was like one of the best albums that ever came out that year, and nobody fucking bought it. Nobody fucking gave 2 shits about it. Because, oh, it was Third Eye Blind, you know. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. Oh, yeah, whatever. No. Out of the Vein. Go fucking listen to it. Go fucking buy it. Out of the Vein is one of the best kept secrets in fucking 2000s-ish modern rock. And most people haven't heard it. Oh, my God. Fucking love that album. Oh. I'm not as hyped on stuff like Ursa Major and some of the other stuff they've done. But fucking out of the vein. People, out of the vein. It's green. It's got an album. The album cover is this kid kind of holding his arm up with X's on his eyes and like a fake cardboard guitar. Look that album up. It's fucking transcendent. You'll thank me later, I promise. Favorite Pearl Jam album. I've seen that come up a lot. I am just, again, I hate to be bland and unoriginal and kind of basic and boring, but motherfucking 10. Like, guys, again, and also 10 has some childhood resonance. 10 was like the third album I ever bought. First album I ever bought was Aerosmith, Get a Grip. Second album was Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and the third was Pearl Jam 10. And Pearl Jam 10 it's a very 90s sounding album, but it's an album that's held up over time. I adore 10. 10 versus Vitology has a lot of good stuff, even though it gets weird in places. Binaural is a great album, and their latest album was really super good too. I want Pearl Jam to release another album. I'd love to review another Pearl Jam album. They just gotta release one. Fucking Pearl Jam, release some shit so I can say more good things about you. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Thoughts on 21st Century Breakdown? Dude, that's gonna be the next GDR episode. So, just sit tight for me, okay? Just sit tight. You'll see that. You'll see that eventually. We'll get to that. Unknown Z, Era Vulgaris. Era Vulgaris is one of those Queens of the Stone Age albums. It's not my favorite Queens of the Stone Age album. That would be Songs for the Deaf. But it doesn't get the love it deserves. Era Vulgaris has tons of good stuff on it. Like, fucking 3s and 7s. Fucking, fucking Make It With You. Make It With You is a great, slow, Queens song, you know? Like, it's one of those, like, Queens doesn't necessarily chill out too terribly often, but Make It With You, just a nice, smooth, sort of Josh Homme, kind of, going full Elvis, kind of laid back, The only thing that I don't know is what I want to do again and again, again and again. Like, that's, Josh Homme doesn't do that enough. Make It With You is a great example of that. And 3s and 7s and Run Pig Run. God, Era Vulgaris is underrated. Underrated as fuck. I wouldn't say as much as Third Eye Blind Out of the Vein necessarily. But John from ARTV, if you're still watching, I was a little disappointed that you didn't put anything from Era Vulgaris on your top 10, man. I mean, it's your choice. It's your taste. It's your choice. And I'm just giving you a hard time, dude. I'm not giving you any bullshit or anything. But yeah, no, Era Vulgaris is a totally underrated album. I wish more people showed it love. Like, dude, thank you for suggesting that over and over again in the chat, because yeah, Era Vulgaris is great. I liked Era Vulgaris more than I liked Like Clockwork. Like Clockwork has some great stuff on it, but overall I found it not as memorable as Era Vulgaris. Call me fucking crazy, but I liked Era Vulgaris better. Yeah, that's again, I'll probably get shit for that, but yeah, no, I love Era Vulgaris. It gets a bad rap. Oh. Okay, I'll answer a few more, but then we totally have to wrap things up. And plus I want you guys to see the new catch-up. So, Oasis I've seen over and over again. Oasis is great. I love Oasis. Oasis isn't the most creative band in the world. I mean, I hate to say that. Oasis is one of those bands, I love them, but they basically got big writing the same song over and over and over again. But you know what? Give credit to Oasis. That one song that they've written is one of the best fucking songs ever. Like, okay, What's the Story, Morning Glory? Is one of my favorite fucking albums of all time. One of my favorite albums of the 90s, for sure. Like, fucking Oasis. Like, for all their faults, for everything that was wrong with Oasis, for all the reasonable reasons one might have to despise Oasis, they were always a great band. Like, they always were able to put out good music. And you know what? Hell yeah, I got a lot of respect for Oasis. I love Oasis. Me and, like, one of my best friends from college were huge Oasis fans. And our love for Oasis was what actually, helped us. I am way too drunk. I'm literally hiccuping now. At that point, like, I'm literally Barney fucking Gumble hiccuping. But yeah, Oasis, me and one of my best friends from college, we're still good friends to this day, actually. We had a huge love for Oasis. That was kind of what brought us together, and, yeah, I got nothing but love for Oasis. Oh, and I'll answer, like, one or two more, but then we gotta get to it. Let's see. Marilyn Manson from Airshots. Like, I know Marilyn gets a lot of love and a lot of hype, but I'm kind of lukewarm on Marilyn. He's got some okay stuff. He's got some fairly crappy stuff. You know, like a lot of shock rockers, like a lot of it is in the performance. And you know, I'll give Marilyn that. He brings 100% to every show he does. But from just the music perspective, from, you know, someone sitting down and just listening with the headphones kind of perspective, I've heard better, I've heard worse. I prefer Alice Cooper, I guess, if it comes to shock rock. I guess I'm just too old school for Marilyn Manson, but Marilyn Manson's okay. I don't love him, but I got a lot of respect for what he does. He's a hardworking entertainer. Like, he really, really does bring his everything to make that show as good as it is, you know? I understand why Marilyn Manson fans are as huge and as rabid as they are, because the dude does deliver. And I got respect for any performer that brings 110% to every show they do. And Marilyn is one of those guys who does that. So, hell yeah. Marilyn, I got respect for that, even if I don't love the music necessarily. So, you know, props to Marilyn for that. Okay, we'll wrap up on this because Austin Barr, brought up one of my favorites, U2. U2 is one of my favorite fucking bands that I have not had the chance to talk about yet. I adore U2. I adore U2, guys. Fucking Joshua Tree, fucking Achtung Baby, fucking All the Things You Can't Leave Behind, fucking Boy, fucking War, fucking like, I love U2. I love them. Like, I even like, one of my favorite U2 albums is actually Zooropa, if that tells you anything. I love U2 so goddamn much. Oh, shut up, Nexus. I like U2. No, man. If you don't like U2, that's okay. I get it. Like, I mean, Bono can be preachy as fuck, and, you know, I understand all the reasons why people don't necessarily like U2. From, like, a personality perspective, sure, I understand that. Like the South Park episode where they said Bono was made of shit. I get that. I laugh at that. I'm a huge U2 fan, and even I laugh at that. I get that. No, that's cool. I understand. I get it. Even though U2 can be a little problematic, I get that. But you know what? U2 always delivers with the music. The music is fucking stupendous. The music is fucking life-changing, you know? It was one of those bands that a lot of my Christian friends, you know, from my Christian school days, it was one of those bands that my friends would always go on and just praise and worship so fucking heavily. Like, Bono, like, in Christian circles, Bono can be more of a god than Jesus can be, you know? Say whatever you want to about Jesus, but don't you dare insult Bono, you know? But, you know, I get why people have problems with U2. I totally do. But U2 is one of my favorite fucking bands in the goddamn world. And you know what? They deserve it. And I can't wait for the day when I finally get a chance to talk about U2. like even though I got a chance, like even when I covered New Year's Day on New Year's Day earlier this year, I was happy I got a chance to do that because like New Year's Day is one of my favorite U2 songs, and like even though I had wicked rotten food poisoning throughout that whole recording process, and it's one of my worst songs that I've ever uploaded, I think. Like I just love U2 that much, and you know, eventually we'll get to U2. I want to make an episode on Zooropa, if nothing else, because that's one of those albums that gets a bad rap and doesn't deserve it. But yeah, like, oh, Zooropa is just like U2. Maybe I'm too drunk to give a terribly coherent opinion on it. I drank way more than I was expecting to, but hey, guys, we got a reason to celebrate here. You know, whatever. I never fucking do this, you know. I never get this fucking jovial, you know. Like I said, this was an achievement I never thought I would ever do. So you know what? I got no regrets, you know. I'm happy I could share this with you guys. And you know, I'm happy you guys enjoy the channel so much and are willing to sit here and listen to me ramble at you about bands. Even bands I might not like, but yeah. But guys, yeah, U2. Someday we're going to go into big depth about U2. I can't wait till that day comes. But yeah, U2, one of my favorite bands that I have not had the chance to talk about yet. Yeah, U2 is one of those bands. You know what? If you haven't heard of U2, or if you're not terribly familiar with them, pick up their greatest hits albums. They have two specifically. One from the 80s to the early 90s, and one from the early 90s to the 2000s. That is an excellent place to start. It's more or less where I started. I had heard stuff like, actually the first U2 song I probably remember hearing was the stuff off of the Batman soundtrack, like Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me is like, oh, like that was one of the first U2 songs I fell in love with, and it sucks because they never play that song live, you know. but yeah, U2, if you've never heard of them before, they're one of those bands that you can totally pick up their best of albums, find the songs you like, and then find out what songs those albums are from. And then dig up those albums, and you will have probably one of the best goddamn listening experiences of your life. Like, chances are good, your favorite albums, your favorite songs will probably be off of either War, Achtung Baby, Joshua Tree, or maybe All That You Can't Leave Behind. Maybe All That You Can't Leave Behind. But yeah, U2 is a band that a lot of people like to hate on, and it's not necessarily unjustified hate, but I don't even care because they're legit. Like, they're legit. Like, they are one of the best bands that, you know, like, they get all the hype in the world, and all I can fucking say is they deserve more because they're that fucking good. They are that fucking good. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm really ruminating on it, and now that I've had an entire bottle of wine and a jack of Coke in my system, now that I'm really ruminating on it, I should have put them on my favorite bands of all time list, because, yeah, I'm sitting here drunk and on a stream on 9:24 p.m. on a fucking Saturday, and sitting here thinking about U2, and all I have is great memories. All I have is wonderful memories of me and my buddies talking about how much we loved How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb when it came out. And, you know, when I first went to college, and one of the very, you know, me being this white trash kid who didn't, you know, relate to a lot of the other kids and had nothing else to really go off of. You know, I didn't have a lot I could talk to people about when I went to IWU, Indiana Wesleyan University. And when I was in the dorms, I didn't have a lot, you know, being this weird towny little kid, I didn't have a lot I could relate to with a lot of the other guys, but all my friends, it turns out, we all liked U2. That was one of the things that helped us bring us together. We all had a common bond with U2. We all had, you know, something we could say about U2. Me specifically, I was that one kid who knew what hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me was. And like, like U2 helped me make a lot of friends back in the day. It helped establish a lot of relationships, and it helped me sort of grow into my own. And yeah, I totally should have put U2 on that list. Fuck, I really do love U2. Oh, you guys got me talking on this, and like, yeah, Unknown Z, I may hate U2, but damn, lol. Yeah, no, I get that. No, I get why people dislike U2, and I get the problems there, but I have a lot of fucking... Like, U2 is one of those bands I got a really personal connection with, and I'd love to go into more detail about it, and someday I will. But, fuck. Like, that's an I Love This song. We gotta talk about a U2 song, and I love this song someday, but... Guys, okay, we've been chatting for 2.5 hours. Guys, okay, I some of you I didn't get to, some of you I didn't get a chance to talk to. I'm sorry. Like I say, hopefully we'll get another chance to do this. We're about to hit 10,000 subs here pretty soon, which I can't fucking believe. We're about to hit 5 digits on this channel, but you know what? Maybe if we do, maybe we'll do another stream. Maybe we'll bring up Quiplash too. Hopefully I can get it going by then. But yeah, guys, thank you all very much for tuning in. Again, thank you very much for helping us reach this huge landmark achievement. And thank you all very much for your support and for everything you've done for the show. Guys, I don't know, like, the thing that I often sometimes get is, people sometimes, I get some letters from people that really, like, people say, like, I get an email at least once every month or so from or an email or a Twitter post or something that says, Crash, I just discovered your channel, or Crash, I've been watching for a long time, or whatever. And it's like, Crash, I love what you're doing with the show. Like, I love the passion you have. I love how you make things interesting, or your videos have helped me get through a hard time in my life. Those always hit me the hardest, like, those are always like, wow, really? Like, god damn. Like Crash, I've been watching your videos and they've helped me through this specific time in my life, and thank you so much for all that you do. And like, I'm happy I can do that for you. I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm kind of a doofus, guys. I'm the kind of guy that drinks an entire bottle of Sauvignon Blanc and a rum and coke on a stream and just talks about bands he likes for no reason or whatever. Like, I don't go into this with huge pretensions. I don't go into this thinking I'm some kind of rock star, or that I've got something really important to say to you people. I have a message to spread. I'm just a dude. I am just a dude who has a passion for rock music, and like, music is just something that's always resonated hugely in my life, and it's just something I love. I've loved since longer than I can remember, and it's something that's kept me going through my hard times, and I don't know, I started this channel just because I felt like there might have been other people who felt the same way I did about rock, or music in general, just people who rock means so much to them that it's a driving force behind their life. It's something that helps them survive. It's something that's gotten them through hard times, and something that's, something that's driven them to do better, or be better people, or just something that's gotten them through, really shitty times in their life, or something that's just gotten them to, when people in their life die, or when, things have gotten really tough. Rock is something that's just given them hope. Rock is a sustaining force. And where a lot of people look at this music and think that it's like, it's just, it's just blah, 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 it's just a scene, man. It's just something you grow out of, and for some people, I'm sure that's true, but for me, it's, it's a part of my identity. It's something that I like to consider something that is me, I would not be me without this music, this music and these artists have helped shape me. They've helped me become a person. They've helped me mature and grow into something, this music has helped me. This music has been therapeutic. This music has been life-sustaining, and I'm happy that, I get a chance to talk about it. That's all. I'm happy I get a chance to talk about it, and I'm happy that so many people, 9,000 or so at this point, feel the same way, and that there's so many people that feel the same way that I do, people, like I say, people reach out to me all the time and say, yeah, this band really meant that much to me, and this band helped me through that, and this song helped me get through this, and I know where you're coming from, man, and I'm sitting there just thinking, yeah, dude, I know where you're coming from. And, like I say, like, I don't know, I'm nobody special. I'm just some guy on the internet. There's a million motherfuckers like that, But I'm glad you guys like what I'm doing. And I'm glad you guys are so into it. And I'm glad that I get so many comments saying, no, Crash, you deserve more subscribers, man. No, you're great, dude. I love your shit, And, I don't know, I'm kind of a weirdo, so I understand. I mean, I'm the guy that made Little Diva. I'm the guy that, wore a fucking trilby for 3 goddamn years and didn't think to change that. I mean, fuck, like, I'm kind of a goof, but I'm glad you guys like what I do, and I'm glad you guys are so fucking enthusiastic about this. And yeah, I'm already getting shit in the comments. No, give me all the shit in the world. I'm being way too sentimental. I'm drunk as fuck. What do you expect, Nah, but guys, just thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for helping us reach this very momentous sort of moment. Like I said, this was always a personal goal of mine to reach 1 million views, and god damn it, we did it. We fucking did it, It took us a long time, and it took us a lot of work, but god fucking damn it, we did it. And thank you all for being a part of that. Like, sincerely, I'm sincerely glad you guys are so into this weird little show, Like, like, I don't know, I look at all this, I look at so much, I look at, all the people who have gotten into this show over the years, and I'm like, really? I'm kind of surprised you guys like me so much, but no, like serious. I don't know. Just thank you, guys. I'm starting to ramble at this point, so I need to shut the fuck up. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything. I love you. Thank you for supporting the show. Guys, do you want to see a catch-up quickie? Do you guys want to see a new fucking episode? Are you ready for another 30 minutes of this motherfucking bullshit? Because, you know what? Yeah, guys, okay, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and try to debut it here on the stream. I'm going to try to play it here. It might not work. It might be super choppy. It might be a little awkward. Like, the volume... Like, it might not work terribly well, so let me know in the chat. I'll be watching the chat. If the video here doesn't work, if the video in the stream doesn't work, then let me know, and we can just fucking forget about it. But yeah, I will go ahead and debut the new catch-up quickie. This is Patreon requests for those of you that were willing to donate to the Patreon to see your requests reviewed. By the way, there's links to the Patreon in the description if you want to see an album that you talked about or asked about reviewed. Shoot me $20 to my Patreon, and yeah, I will totally review that. As long as it meets the guidelines, I'll be more than happy to. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for everything you've done. And yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in for the stream. Thank you for everything you've done. And guys, I love you. I appreciate you so much. And guys, let me click over here and debut the new Ketchup Quickie for you so that you can totally check that out for yourself. And like I said, let me know if it doesn't work, if it's weird or if it's choppy or if it doesn't happen to work out. Then no big deal. It's already uploaded to the channel. We can just switch it over and get that worked out. No big deal, but I will go ahead and debut the new Quickie now. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in to this 1 million Q&A view stream. I am drunk. Like, there's no getting around it now. I am drunk. Guys, thank you very much for everything. And please enjoy the new Quickie. And take care. Enjoy your Easter weekend. I hope you all have a good time. Cheers. Ah, shit. We're already in the middle of something. Okay. Let me back up here. Boop. Boop.
Whew, oh man. Glad we finally got that done, right? That was way too long overdue. Whew, yeah. I don't suppose I missed anything while I was making that vid, did I? Well, by now, most of you probably know the score. Longer vids devour big stretches of my time. I fall behind on new releases. We do these clusterfuck episodes to help make up for all the lost albums and Sunrise Sunset. It just so happens that I ended up getting a lot of Patreon requests while I was making GDR1, so consider this the first of 2 Ketchup Quickies I hope to get done this month. This one will be all Patreon requests, and a more traditional one will hopefully come out towards the end of the month. I mean, I was gonna give top priority to patrons here. I mean, that's just good business. As the old saying goes, the customer may always be right, but the customer who leaves a big tip is a bit more right than the others. So in no particular order, how about we start with... This request comes from longtime supporter Akraloth2160. You guys remember him. He was the one who pledged to have me review Vector's Terminal Redux, one of the best metal albums from last year that, for whatever buggery reason, I am medically prohibited from listening to. But Battle Beast, a Finnish power metal sextet, thankfully is more on the, not as ear-bleeding side of metal. I mean, thank Christ for that, too. I can't afford another trip to the emergency room, dude. No, but Battle Beast is a whole other animal entirely. I actually wrote that line? Jesus Christ, I'm losing my touch. This group is power metal, and by power metal, I mean POWER METAL! To those of you that might remember my strong sliding scale of rock dynamics from a previous episode, yeah, this is pretty firmly in the strong bad camp. This is power metal from the school of Manowar, Halloween, Dragon Force, Blind Guardian, et al. Hell, it almost sounds like something the Brothers Chaps would compose as a joke, and fuck, I absolutely love it. But you know, I'm right to love it, because it's a great album. It's richly produced, epically performed, and knows how to deliver 110% to the intensity without taking itself too seriously. And you know, I do have a warm little place in my heart for the ludicrously ridiculous OTP shit, and this fits very comfortably into that particular niche. Nora Luhimo, forgive me if I'm butchering these names, they are very Finnish, does an absolutely splendid job behind the mics. She's truly a front woman that...
Jimmy's for no man!
She's got the range, control, and bombastic character to her vocals that is absolutely perfect for this style of music. She can get operatic and smooth, or she can release a gravelly, Hounds of War shriek, depending on whatever the situation calls for. And the guitar work and bass melodies are fluid in style and deliciously melodious in execution. Songs like Straight Through the Heart and Bringer of Pain really hammer home that loincloth-clad, broadsword held aloft, 80s sounding intensity, and the closer Rock Trash is a good old piece of boogie-woogie ripped straight out of Aerosmith's or AC/DC's playbook. But they also pull off...
Alright. Yeah, okay. I've been getting some responses from the chat that it's a little laggy, the audio is a little bit ahead of the video, and it's not working out too terribly well. I'm sorry, guys. I had a feeling this might happen, but I prepared for it, so... Here's sorry, let me switch over here. Yeah, like I said, I have this already prepared. I have this already taken care of, guys. We're gonna close down the stream here, but the video will be up in your subscriptions. The video, like I said, the video is already uploaded. Check your subscriptions immediately after I close the stream, and the Ketchup Quickie will be up and running on the channel proper. You can watch it that way. The thing is, this video is a half hour long, so some of you say it's fine, some of you say it's a little weird, but you know, it's a half hour long, so I hate to sit you down in front of a half hour long video that's janky. So let's just play it safe. Let's, you know, do the safety thing, and you know, like I say, check your subscriptions. It should be up there. It's called Patreon Ketchup Quickie 2. I believe I titled it Catch Me Up When September Ends, because I'm a goof. But yeah, okay. Sorry about that, guys. I was hoping this would work out better, but it turns out it didn't. But yeah, guys, just check out your subscriptions. It'll totally be up there. And yeah, guys, again, thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for this. I will, yeah, guys, I will talk to you later. Again, yeah, sorry, guys, but some people are having problems, and I want to, you know, I want to make sure I want to make sure everybody has the same experience. You know, I don't want to leave people out. You know, if people are having issues seeing it, then I don't want them to be excluded. You know, I'd rather they have the experience. So, I mean, it'll be on in your subscriptions like literally within a second. So just, you know, check your subs. It'll be there within the next 5 to 10 minutes tops. And yeah, guys, it'll be there. So yeah, guys, have good nights. Check your subs if you want to check out the new Ketchup Quickie. If not, it'll be there for you whenever you're ready to watch it. And guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the show. And guys, have a good night. And remember, like I always say, the only opinion that really matters is your own. Cheers.